There's you. What are you doing? Who's waiting here for me? Is this Skull already here? And who else? Aaron Colburn, what's going on? Oh man, lots of subjects that we can talk about today. If I could bear with me, would you? I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's always beer 30, right? Let's talk about networks in the realm of everybody's like they got their 4G and they got the next one and one after that. I don't know. There's all the networks out there. G's up, right? It's kind of like ganged up, right? It's a gang of networks, and people are fearful of the 5G. They're fearful of it, and I see why. I see the connection. But let's talk about it on a frequency modulation, and an amplitude modulation, and a cymatic scale, and quantum jumping, and reality shifting, and maybe we could talk about maybe interference patterns and waveforms, and we'll get into those kind of dynamics and how that it works on a human level. As a human, you are a receiver and transmitter of information. You're a conduit and a source of energy. You can let energy go through you. You can receive energy, and you can emit energy. So you are like a radio station dial. You turn up the volume, amplitude. You can turn up this frequency. You can change that frequency bandwidth. And a lot of people have fear of different frequencies. Some are destructive, but then again, if a bridge is built and it's shaky and it shouldn't you destroy it? Isn't that the Shiva and the Shakti? You know, the idea of the phoenix rising from the ashes, like the destruction of a system isn't necessarily a dilemma. I mean, do you still want to use a dial-up modem? Do you still want to use a fax machine? You know, transition through consciousness, technology. Things tend to evolve or morph. I like the word morphing better than I like the word evolution, because I don't necessarily believe in evolution in that regard. What up, Crow? Where we can see an advancement in all sorts of technologies, tools and technologies. Always they gear towards what's more precise, what's better. You know. But here's the line. Just a little side note here. When do you stop sharpening a knife? You can over sharpen a knife. So are we at what they would call, you have the bleeding edge of technology, and then you have the leading edge, and then you have the bleeding edge of technology? Like, at what point has it gone too far? Well, I don't know, because as the human system, whatever we are, as far as we can tell, are the most advanced thing. Whatever this is the most advanced thing on this planet, on this realm, wherever we live. I mean, sure, there's maybe other beings that we're not really coordinated with that have a higher mind, higher technology, a greater understanding of things. But it's all bandwidths and frequencies of. You ever walk down the street and you've probably walked by a place 1,000 times and you never noticed it? Was it not there? Or was it your perception or the frequency that was like you were radiating at that? They're like, well, where the hell did that come from? I've never. Or maybe a person that goes, you take the same trip to work every day. You walk, maybe you take a bike, I don't know, and you pass the same person, but you don't notice them, but they notice you, because there's a frequency you're putting off. There's an auric field. There's a literal discharge of energy that you can't. I mean, some people can see it. There's ways of seeing auric fields. But as we're getting into the body, the human body as the highest form of technology, everything we see in reality around us is a man's version of trying to mimic what man already does, or as you say, man, woman, whatever, what the human body does. You can't, everything else is going to be subpar to actuality. People call it reality. Actuality. What is actual? Here it is. You can go ahead and put the VR headsets on, and you can make a speaker, and you can digitalize anything. But analog reality, there's a tangible something to it. It's palpable. This actuality, where in the digital realm and in the realm of technology and making things that are mimicries of the human body, it can never be as perfected as what the human body could be. So within that, as we're going down that path, there are frequencies that your body is attuned to. It's kind of like if you know Reiki, you know these things, the little symbols here. If you have an attunement, if you're attuned, atonement, to be at a tone, to be at one with the mind, atonement, at one mind. See? There's a train. You guys want to see the train? Where is it at? I think it's up. It's up a little far. You might be able to see it. Oh, but check it in the background. What do we got? We got a roller coaster. Can you see it? A roller coaster right there. And we got the train right there. See the train? Choo choo, motherfucker. Let's see. Let me flip it around. Maybe see it better this way. Wow. Little mini trains. Yeah. I like turtles and trains. What's up, everybody? Who's here? Oh, Jordan Whelan, what the hell have you been doing? I haven't seen you in a bit. Hi. What the hell's going on in your world? It's been a while since I've seen you on here. We used to be like besties or whatever, man. How you living? Where you at now? Where's your life? Where's your being? Where's your static human form residing at the current moment? Your of all of your bodies collapsed together in the most physical one. Where's it at? Oh, hey, what's up, Colin? Yeah. MSM sulfur. Yeah, I like this stuff. I think it's worth taking. I'll put this out here for people. There's not too many things that I like the idea of a pill, capsule, or some sort of non-whole food. I think that nature already provided the complexities, so it's so simple, it's just sitting there in a certain fruit or vegetable. But there's a few things as supplements, right, that are good because it's bioavailable and it's doing a job really quickly that the fruit or vegetable or meat product or organ or whatever you're eating might take a little longer to accomplish a task. You know what I mean? Like you can assist the healing process, or nature. Like for instance, if you cut yourself, you wouldn't just let it sit there. You'd clean the wound and you might do something, suture it together, and to make the healing work a little quicker. But in general, and I'll get into the iodine too, because you asked about sulfur and iodine. The MSM is one of the MSM flakes. It's probably what's that called? Mycelic sulfite. Yeah, I don't remember the whole name, but yeah, I've used it. I think it's a good thing. Usually use that for what, like arthritis and bone problems and building up like myelin sheaths. Is that that's what it's used for? Yeah, I would say that's probably a good idea. It's one of the few things. So bioavailable and things that will speed up healing processes. I would say yes to that. There's not too many things that are really in that category of, okay, it's gone, because everything that has been, usually the dilemma is this, that the chemistry of it, the alchemy of it, the person and the company doing it is not necessarily as, at first they want to do it and they're doing it the right way and it's helpful. I'm going to take an orange and I'm going to juice it, and then I'm going to take these herbs and I'm going to make a tincture, and it's going to be really good. But as somebody pays me and I want to make a bigger profit, and all of a sudden you start kind of not doing it the right way. You know what I mean? So as long as you know where you're getting it from, yeah. And iodine, I would say probably get it from kelp. if you're gonna seaweed, I mean, think about it in the sense of cultures, certain diets. What do you find? There's a lot of cultures that eat sea kelp, or there's another kelp and something else. So those are the natural sources of iodine. The Lugol's and the orange stuff, I have had them, I've used them, but I didn't, you know, I've never thought about it as a dietary something that I needed. It could be something someone needs, but I go back to what would the natural human eat? If you were if you get rid of all the commercials, that your influence of your parents, the influence of everything. If you were a dog, what would you eat? If you were a cat, if you were a lion, if you were a rhinoceros, if you were an elephant, what would you eat? And that would be the basic way that I would consider what would my diet would be. So iodine, probably because of their climate and where they live, that was supplementing something. It's called bioacoustic resonance. Okay, so around you, let me explain it this way. If you live in a neighborhood and everybody's got their lawns, and you notice some people's lawns have dandelions and others do not, and others have these certain kind of weeds. Well, each one of those are acoustically resonant with the harmonics of the people inside of the house. So they have a liver disorder that's vibrating in a certain thing. All of a sudden there's dandelions there, and it's saying, pick me, turn me into a tea, turn me into a tincture, turn me into a wine, and drink me, and it'll heal you. And then those dandelions will go away on their own, because you have harmonized the space. So what is bioavailable local? So your local environment should show you what to consume. I live in New Orleans. What does my local environments offer me? Lots of beer. It's good. And I don't, and other stuff too, you know what I mean? Like, it's a whole plethora. Like, what would it be locally? I'm kidding about the beer and other things, but not really. But what would you eat locally? What is available? It's very simple. Dietary things are very simple. Your diet is your deity. It's your God. It's your temple. It's you. It's the things that you're vibrating around you. If you live in the north, and this is an example I give many, many times, if you lived in Alaska, you shouldn't be on a fruitarian diet. You go up to Alaska, you're like, I want to be a raw fruitarian, or like if you want to be a real idiot and be a vegan, you wouldn't survive. You couldn't. Like, you'd have to have, if nothing came into Alaska, just what was there, you know what's not growing? Fruits, because it's not that kind of climate. So therefore, the area will tell you what is going to be best for your body. Because it's cold, that whale blubber that you're getting and eating, and you're putting on insulation and fat on your skin, that's what you need to survive. It's giving that to you. It's telling you this is what you eat. If you live in the south, what is growing in season around you is telling you what your diet should be. I say all that to get to this idea. Is there iodine around me right now? So for me, I don't see the necessity of it. If you have like thyroid issues or goiters or whatever is going on, and maybe getting that iodine shipped in is a good idea. Maybe that's just, it's kind of like if you hurt yourself and you can't move and somebody brings you something. It's not in your local area, but it's that medicine. You can get medicine shipped to you, like iodine. Perhaps maybe if you were radiation, right? People that go through chemo, or there's Nagasaki and whatever, you would take a lot of iodine to help clear the radioactivity, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, iodine could be used. I would say see what it does. Try it out. I would get the sea kelp version. I get that version over the Lugol's. Even though a lot of people swear by Lugol's, 2%, whatever. Iodide and iodine, the orange stuff. And there's a way to test how much you have in you. I don't know if you know the test. You get somebody, put it on your arm, and if the orange spot goes away in a certain amount of time, then you're deficient on iodine. Could be. So yeah, iodine. I would say, see what it does. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's not going to kill you. You know what I mean? It's not gonna damage. It's not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna be like take some iodine, and be like ah. There we go. Yeah, iodine, kelp, and what was your other question? You said about pee. That John Armstrong book. Which one did you pick, dude? I mean, unless you really want a physical copy, they're all online for free. Like, why waste the $20? That guy's dead anyways. He's not getting any of the royalties. You know, just get it offline. And also, all of those books on urine therapy. There's a few, but they're pretty much saying the same thing. Anything that anybody said in the community, like, we're just repeating a very small thing. I'll read you all the books. Drink your piss, it will fix your ailments. What's the problem? You cut yourself, pour it on there. You got an ear infection, put some in there. You got a problem with your eye, stick it in your eye. Like, I mean, going into what is actually happening and kidney filtration and plasma ultrafiltrate and all this shit. I mean, of course you can you can look that up in a medical journal. Like, what are the filters doing? What are the kidneys doing as a filter? What is happening with your blood? How is your blood becoming plasma? And then what is the red part, the burgundy part, and then the plasma whitish yellow part? That's your urine. So what is the cleanest thing you put back in your body? Clean plasma. What's close to it? Water. Plasma. Plasma's an upgrade over water. In fact, if you really got into ancient cultures, they didn't. Water was a sacred sacrament and offering to the temple because it was always there. You can't waste water. I mean, I know it's getting a little esoteric in the way that I'm saying it, but the world, you say, oh, we're wasting water. You can't. If you believe we live in an enclosed system, whether or not it's flat or round, water, where's it going to go? You're going to put it in your body, it's going to leak out of you, and it's going to go into the ground, and it's going to go up in there, and it's going to come back down. It's a cycle. It's a water cycle. You can't waste water. Like, you could waste water in your building if you're in a small town and you got a water tower and you just leave the shit on. Okay, you're not getting the water back for a little while. But the whole system. So your body really doesn't, you don't even really need to drink water. Like, the breatharian lifestyle is real because your body is already, you as you sleep, you're exhaling. And when in the day, you're taking in. Like, I live in a moist climate. If I just sat here and I sat on a scale, and at the end of the day, I might be heavier if I did nothing because I'm taking in water weight. And then at night, as my body is breathing out, I'd be lighter in the morning because I'm sweating out some of that. Your body is doing that. That's what your skin does. It's breathing. So it's a lung, basically. So in the real world, you don't even really need that. And then there's a point where you can just re-ingest your own plasma inside of you once it's clean enough, right? All the dirty stuff goes out the back, just like in a kitchen. Think of a restaurant. All the fancy shit's in the front, all the good food, it's all neat. In the back, it's all the garbage cans and whatever. Shit goes out the back. The good stuff's in the front. So until then, you can, liquids, water, urine, keep recycling that. Your body is a giant filter. It's from that sense, like as you keep filtering, what's going to happen? You'll get cleaner and cleaner as long as you stop putting disgusting, gross material in your body. As that happens, you'll sweat it out, and some of the stink will come out of you. You'll wipe it off, and some of it will come out your ass, and some of it will come out your, you'll snot it out, whatever, cough it out. As soon as it's out of you, then your body becomes, like they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. It's correct, and what they're talking about is your body temple. How clean is it? How clean are you internally? And so you run through the filters. The body is a huge filter, and then you have all smaller filters. Your kidneys are filtering things, your liver is filtering things. This is what's happening. Your lungs filtering the air, and then the blood goes in there, spraying in there, and oxidizing it and rusting it. I think as the blood gets cleaner and cleaner. There's how many blood types? Add one more. I did a whole video on it a while ago. It's called golden blood. It's null. It's called null blood. It's golden. It's supposed to be exceptionally rare. And I've always been under the idea, for a bunch of reasons, that you could change your blood type, because you're talking about antigens and antibodies. That's how you can tell what blood type somebody is. So if you live in a certain area, your antigens and antibodies, because of the toxins that have been coming in and the defenses your system has put up, that would be your local environment and your lineage, your kinship, your tribe. Tribe over here is going to have a different blood type because of the landscape that they live in. So their antibodies and antigens will be different. Now, if they start trading, so two tribes come together and they trade the blood types, how does the child's blood come out? What's it connected to? Is it going to be definitely the mothers? Is it going to be definitely the fathers? Is it going to be something? I mean, what's to say I don't go to a different area and start taking in more antigens, and then my body produces the antibodies. Now all of a sudden, am I not altering my blood type just by doing that? Now, if I go across the board and put all of the antigens in there, and then my body develops all the antibodies, what kind of blood would that be? Or what if we just start removing all the toxic sludge out of your body? What kind of anti-generators? It's a generator, right? Antigens, anti. So what about progens? Would your body start producing progenitors? Progens? It's like your seed. Would it change your seed? Just a couple ideas. Wait, you're 34 weeks? Yeah, is that about the last time we talked? Are you again? Because I thought the last time I talked to you was well longer than a year ago. You're pregnant again? Because I thought you were having a baby the last time I talked to you. So you're like, you got like a baby and now another baby? So you about to pop open? Used to. No, yeah, I was saying used to. I don't even remember last time we chatted. So yeah, fucking, for anybody who doesn't know, here I am in New Orleans. Gorgeous weather as always. Greatest city on earth. Despite the infrastructure, despite the hurricanes that happen occasionally. Can't beat it. It's almost Halloween, and I gotta sit in the shade because it's hot. Oh, yesterday, I got to go to the botanical gardens. Oh my God, it's amazing. If you guys don't know, link up with me on not on Instagram, on Telegram. Download Telegram and link up with me there. Look at my last show. It tells you how to link up with me, and you can see cool shit like pictures, and then I also talk a little more openly and freely on there about anything I want, whereas on here I have to kind of censor myself a little bit. And you can see pictures of inside the botanical gardens, which is super fucking amazing. There's all sorts of cool shit I want to show you. We have a rainforest and a greenhouse in there. I didn't know it existed. And there's a giant, I don't know how big it is, maybe like a half acre. That's pretty big, right? A half acre model train that is a replica of New Orleans, our train system, and then all of the buildings and shit, and it's like a, I don't even know how to explain how big it is. It's like from here to that fence. It's like it's like huge, and it's yeah. I was like, where the hell did this come from? We lucked out because they were having a party, and they canceled the party because it might rain. But everything was still open, so we got to go in all of the cool rooms that normally wouldn't be open to the public. That's what mushrooms will provide. The mushrooms are the key. Not saying I did or didn't consume of such things. Yeah, well, that was 2 days ago, bro. And now it's the weekend. It's Friday. Welcome. Maybe I'll do a trip with you guys soon. I've taken you around some of the park before. Maybe I'll do a whole day where I'll just walk you guys through. Let's see, we got the botanical gardens, then we got the outdoor sculpture garden, and then, I mean, that's 2 days worth of stuff to do. And then we got the museum, and you're allowed to take pictures of the museum too, so we could actually film in there. And that's all free on Wednesday. So that's why we did that on Wednesday. Day tripping. Mr. Mannion. Hey, thanks for the duckets the other day. It's anybody that wants to donate to me, I'm running on fumes these days. I'm very I'm not gonna I'm rich. I have lots of money, but in the paper and plastic world of trading token to biosurvival tokens, I don't have a lot right now. So if you want to and you're entertained or have ever helped you, or if you need my help with something in the health, whatever you need to know, you can contact me, Theoluminous, TheoLuminous @gmail. That means God light. And you can donate to me because you're so kind. CashApp, PayPal. Yeah, do CashApp or PayPal. Don't do Venmo today because it's fucked up. I can't access my Venmo account. I mean, I guess you could put a couple bucks in there. It's not gonna really matter. I gotta hit a bunch of buttons, send some emails to them, see what the fuck's going on. But yeah, you can help, and also join Telegram. It's like Instagram, but it's better. It's like Instagram plus. I don't know if you can do live videos, but I know you can do live shows where I can do a show where I can talk. I don't know if you can see my dumb face during it. That would be the only downfall. We'd still do this here. Yeah. There you go. Close up in here. There you go. Theoluminous @gmail. Yeah, that is it. TheoLuminous. This is correct, Jordan. I was curious about your thoughts on something. Oh, there you go. Oh, how can you get my number again? Also, Jordan, contact me there or just do Telegram because we can talk on Telegram. I think we can talk on Telegram. Yeah, whatever. Just send me an email. I'll sure. That works there too. What's up, Eric Alchemic? Crow gang. What up, crows? What are you doing? So yeah, two awesome days though. Got to go down to went to the French Quarter. I don't know if you're familiar with how fucking badass New Orleans is, but it was like everybody else, like they're there having fun. I'm just like, where the hell is all the street performers? Where's all the New Orleans energy? Sucked out of the city between the hurricane and this other thing that's going on. It's weird. Everybody else, so many people have come visit here recently, and I'll meet people out, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, so much fun in the city." It's like, you have no idea. This is calm. It's excessively calm here. I like it. I mean, it's just it's interesting considering how chaotic the city normally is, in the most delightful way. So yeah, I got to run around the French Quarter yesterday, meet some bunch of fucking cool people. Some hip-hop heads, some rap artists, some musicians, some gutter punks, and yeah. Then I did the day before we did this whole thing, this whole park. So maybe I'll do a series where I'll walk you guys through the park, the whole system. What do you think, Burp God? Gang, Burp gang. Never actually looked that up if that's just my gang or if somebody does that shit. But whatever. It's just mine. You can share it, you can use it if you want. So yeah, what's up everybody? Who else is up in here? Oh, also thumbs up are free. And whether it's a nickel or a dime, just consider this. Consider if you were driving down the street or walking by and you see somebody down in their luck, you know, a hobo, a gutter snipe, just somebody that's just there, just shaking a thing, asking for change, and you throw $1 or something. Pretend that's me, but you're somehow getting return on your investment. So even as a buck or two, that would really help. So feel free. Here, I'm shaking my cup, and go beneath CashApp, PayPal. It's TSAR, capital XEN, CashApp, $, TS, capital TSAR, capital XEN. That's my CashApp. My PayPal is paypal.me/, I believe it's also TsarXen, but look beneath in the description box, it should tell you. And if you have Venmo, you can use that too. I think it's a Zen _ Atman-1. I don't know. So there you go. 11 people, 4 thumbs up, 7 people sucking your thumbs like toddlers. Is that what you're doing? Just in the back, just... No, I love saying that because I know so many people, they'll just put it on and like do dishes or be at work. Kerr, what the hell are you talking about? So what else do you guys want to get into? What do you want me to discuss? You want to get more into frequency shit? Because I think I pretty much covered all that in the beginning of the talk. So if you missed the beginning of the talk, go there for a few words on your body being a radio transmitter, receiver, amplifier. You have to realize this. We'll do this again like this. So your body itself is a containment unit for energy. It's also a conduit of energy, and you also can be full of energy. It's like a battery pack. Plus, it's everything that you can think of in the electrical systems. Go look at the electrical, handbook on what is this? It's an amplifier. It's a modulator. It's a capacitor. It's all of that. Your body is that. So everything is out in front of you. It gives you the schematics in a form of electronics. That's part of what your body is doing, but it's doing it organically. And that would get into all of the 5G and the graphene oxide that might be in something that is kind of programmable matter. And now that let me touch on that just for a second again. The fear that people have. Well, it's because it can be controlled and remotely controlled and amplified by a network that is, if you're on 3G or 4G, there's a certain bandwidth, there's a megahertz, there's a frequency that it's on. If you put something, let's try it this way. Have you ever seen those videos? What up, Crow? You ever see those videos of one of those opera singers, and there'll be a bunch of glasses, maybe one glass, and then she hits this right tone and it shatters the glass? Well, you can do that also. So that's a type of cymatic. It's a sound wave that has basically interfered with what the harmonics of the standing waveform of what glass is or crystal is, that crystal, and she can shatter it. Or it's usually a she. I mean, guys could do it too. It's just the pitch is more in that range. Shatter that glass. You can also construct something by using proper frequencies. So no matter what frequency it is, you can adjust and modulate something. Put a bunch of sand on top of a piece of paper on top of a speaker, and you change it, you can see the cymatical form. So if in your body there is a certain type of material that is locked into what the frequency of a 5G network would be, then you could program someone through that. Thoughts. You could program someone's body movements, patterns, all sorts of things, especially thoughts, though. It's a thought control, basically. So let's think of it a little deeper here. The dilemma with it is that people don't know that it's occurring. So if you don't know that your thoughts are being controlled, then most people do. Their thoughts are controlled. It's mind control, MK Ultra, right? It's being controlled by the TV. It's being controlled by people that you talk to. This right now, I'm controlling your mind, but I'm telling you that I'm doing that. And then you're going, oh, you're allowing for me to say something to you that will influence you in a good way. And you know that. So the dilemma with the other network, if it is programmable material, graphene oxide in the body, then they could do it. You would be unknowing to it. So you would get a frequency, and it would be a thought is like Manchurian candidates. Where did this thought come from? Where did it manifest from? Somebody's actually digitally here, and mind control. But you have to realize it's been going on anyways people are bitching and complaining about it while they're using their phone on 4G, which means that first it was the television as a black mirror, one directional, like just here, drone out. Boop boop. The television, the patent on television is a mind control device. You have to know that. But once you tell somebody that's what it is, then you can pick and choose what channel you're tuning into. You know, it's a channel. You can channel something. You want to. Some people don't like beer because it's spirits and it's alcohol and it's a ghoul, but they don't know what they're talking about. It's a spirit, just like the television is a channel. Okay, you're channeling something. It's programming something. They're programming you through a channel. Oh, I turned my TV off. No, maybe I like that program. There's plenty of things you can learn through channels. There's plenty of things you can learn through spirits. You think, you stop consuming anything. You're still you right there are a spirit. Me, I'm a spirit. You're gonna be influenced by spirits, whether you like it or not. It's just what it is. If you don't like it, go sit in the forest where no one is. Throw your phone away. Stop eating. Stop consuming. Then go be yourself. See how you like that? That'd be fun? Probably not. Because we're social creatures that have a social bond, interaction, connection to everything else around us, including spirits, including programming, including channeling. Like, I know people that can read minds, like literally, like, and they deny it, but I'm like, I'll be thinking something and then they'll just say it or whatever. And I'm like, you know, you just did it again. And she'll go, what? And she goes, yeah, this has been going on for a long time. I was like, oh, so you can just, she's like, I have no idea how it happens or what I'm tuning into, but like, she can literally, I could think something and she'll take the exact words in the order out of someone's head. I mean, after she did it the first couple times, I was like, are you playing around with me right now? She's like, yeah. So women tend to be more magnetic resonators. They can suck in the, as masculine, you're putting out and projecting electrical waves, and the magnetic is pulling that in. So that's why women tend to be more sensitive and more, you know, all of the. Maybe you think of somebody that could do like witches. You don't think of men. You don't think of warlocks. You don't think of men that are magnetic and doing all of the clairvoyant shit, right? Usually, and the men that do it are usually a little more effeminate, you know, a little more less masculine. They have more connected to the magic world. It pulls in. It's magnetic. It's a drawing energy. So that's why women are more. I don't know, they're like, how come you can't just feel what somebody else is saying? Like, you just gotta know, you don't feel them? And women are very, very, yeah. I mean, I can, I get it. But a lot of dudes can't, because their entire thing is grow up, you're a man, and aggressive forward, head down, do the damn thing, and electrical charge. I don't know where I was going with all that, except for frequencies. What was I getting into? Frequencies of the mind and tuning into. Oh, that was earlier. I saw different realities. How to do that? Change your thoughts, change the world, huh? Bioacoustics. Where are we at? What did you do? Eric. Hey, Eric Alchemic, why'd you delete all your messages, you asshat? Eric, you asshat, why did you do that? Did you do that? Did you delete your messages? Eric, how dare you? Did you do that? Or did you do it on accident, or what happened there? Bioacoustics. Growing crystals with cymatics. I don't know what happened there. Did you do that, or is that on my side? Because it says you deleted your shit. So I have to hit a button to see what you deleted, which is weird. Yeah, it says on my side, it says message detracted, but then it gives me an option to view it. Weird. It'd be interesting to grow a crystal with cymatics. Well, that's kind of how they grow anyways, right? In the caves? Isn't that what they say? And isn't like stalactites and what are they, stalactites and stagmites and Whatever they are, they're called. You ever been in those crystal caves? I've been in a couple. Pretty rad. Maybe I'll go through. I'll go as soon as I can find a computer, because I don't have a PC anymore. My fucking PC broke. Jesus, damn it. As soon as I get another one, soon enough, maybe somebody will be nice and buy me a Halloween gift or a Christmas gift or something. Maybe I don't really celebrate those. Maybe I'll celebrate this year. I want to celebrate Christmas this year because these asshats in the government-sponsored insanity are saying, well, I don't know if it's too early to tell if you could have Christmas. I mean, that makes me just want to do it more, you know? Like, don't push that button. So you're saying push the button. Is that what you're telling me to do? Anyways, so what I was getting at is if I get a computer, I'll be able to upload some of my old videos on that shit. Like I said, I took down like over 3,000 videos because some of them might have got my channel shut down again for the 5th time. And I don't like that because this is my source of income. So that puts a real damper on things. But I'll try to download, I'll try to upload some of my old ones that I'm certain won't get my channel fucked up. Hieroglyphs in South Dakota? Oh yeah, of course. I've been talking about this for a while now. I mean, and everybody real deep into the knowledge, like the Native Americans and the real natives, right? And the tribes. Hey, I got a booger. You guys want a booger? the tribes, like the real tribal shit. So when they talk about like tribes in Israel and tribes of the Sudan and all the you know, out of Africa theory and well, in actuality, if you really want to get to what it seems like, America was the original land, not Africa. And it even says it in the name, America, rich soil. Africa, they both mean rich. Okay, so Africa and Africa, America, rich soil, or rich soul. And the pyramids that we see here, they're bigger. You can't find them because they were built first. We can see the pyramids in all over Egypt and blah blah blah. We see them everywhere. In America, you see the tops of them. Why? Because they're older, they're more ancient. And if you look at the Mississippi and you look at the Nile, those two rivers, there's a really interesting point in Egypt. It's called Cairo. Look it up. Look up. Cairo is I don't know that the word itself means, but I know it means like a meeting point of two rivers. So the Mississippi and I believe the Ohio meet, and there's a town in America. I believe it's in Illinois, and even getting into Chicago. You know what Chicago means? Just an old tribe. Anyways, there's a meeting point of two rivers. I think it's the Ohio and the Mississippi, and there's Cairo. And you go to Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. It's a meeting point of two rivers, and it's eerily similar the way that they come together and the fact that the town name is the same. Now people would suggest that, you know, we have like Phoenix, we have Cairo, we have like all of these Egyptian names here for cities that we're mimicking those other cities. Are we sure it's not the other way around? Can you be really certain? Just because, like, if we know that everything in history is always written by the winners and everything is reversed, flipped around, you pretty much know that the slave theory, bringing slaves over from Africa, is complete bullshit. Just is. Because the reason the population is what it is the influx of the white Slavics, the slaves, up into Ellis Island on boats that they chose to do that, or you know, they were the slaves, right? It wasn't the other way around. The people that were already here were the melanated folk. They were the melanated Americans, the native Indian Americans. They have nothing to do with the Africans. They're completely different looking. They wouldn't even recognize each other. They're completely different tribes. They didn't ship over Africans to do slave. It's a completely ridiculous story. Anybody that even has a clue, you could just sniff it out and be like, that is such a dumb story. The Civil War is a is a ridiculous cover-up. It's bullshit. It's completely bullshit. Go to the north. Come to the south. It's the most integrated place. People are the least racist in the south. I guarantee that. But they mimic it and say it's the other way around. I lived all over the north. People are very, very much divided and segregated there. Not down here. Because the south was the free states. The north were taken. The northern states were taken over by what was coming down from the Canadian region. But I don't. It's hard to explain exactly who or what that was. Whether it was a war, natural phenomenon, blah blah blah. But everything we think is backwards. That's what I'm getting at. The slave trade is the other way. There's the Slavics in the north, not to the south. It was not Africans coming here. They were actually, the Haitians and things were going over to Africa to get out of this area. It was the other way around. It's an amazing, you know, that's just the trick of hucksters and shucksters and jivers and bullshitters. People that, just because you want to fight, just, you know, doesn't mean you were right. Winning a fight with might doesn't mean you're right. But as soon as they do, they just like act like, oh, I'm victorious. Just because you're victorious in something doesn't mean that you were noble or true in what the historicity of the battle was, or why it even occurred. It's like leeches and succubuses. Okay, so you got fed, so you got some land. It's like all the Indians say, I can't sell the white man. This is the idea. I can't sell the white man land because I don't own the land. The land is everyone's. It's common heritage, not his story of what's going on. Now, I'm not getting to the matriarchy bullshit, but there does seem to be something about. Look at when they call them the white man. It's because they're wheats. They're wits. It's like it means basically demon. It means dark demon. Like black means here's how everything's backwards. Everything is backwards. Listen closely. The word, you can look it up. The word black means blanc, empty space, bleach, black. It literally means what appears as white. What appears as black is actually what you'd call a dark demon. Like, that's a long history, but every word you can think of, and that would go back to pre-Lit convention. I think, what is it, 37 maybe 38, when they changed the dictionaries. You know, book burnings didn't happen just in Alexandria. Book burnings that happened everywhere. They've been changing words, and we're not even going to get into like all the different dictionaries, the different law dictionaries, Black's law, Bleach law. I mean, it's all confused spell casting. The art of confusion. If you confuse the shit out of people, how can you possibly? Someone asks you something, you have to go, there's a billion different things you're asking me right now. Which one are you saying? You ever get in a conversation with somebody? This is my favorite. You're agreeing with someone, but you're having an argument about what you're agreeing with, and I've watched this happen. Two people having a conversation, and they're agreeing, but they're arguing, and I'm like, you guys realize you're saying the same thing, just slightly different language, and they think they're in battle with each other because of their perception of what a word or what the intention and the meaning and the motivation of the word, it doesn't always line up. They can't figure out that what's being said is the exact same thing. It's the greatest to watch. Oh, it's the worst when you're part of it and you're like, I'm agreeing. I don't know how many times when I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, why? I'm agreeing with you. Like, I can hear it and they're being defensive, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm 100% agreeing with what you're saying. I'm pouring more layers and sugar and cream and frosting, and it's gonna be more delicious. I'm telling you more of the same thing you're saying, and people think I'm arguing with them. I don't know. What's up, CB? Built by the corporation was. Sure. The mother sons. There's good ones and there's fucked up ones. Of those things? There's good ones. I've met plenty. You think you've walked through your entire life and never met somebody that is? Oh, there's good intention and good using using the knowledge to help people, and then using the knowledge to and monopolize over people's consciousness, over people. No, there's good. There's in every. It's like when people are like, "Oh, I'm a Christian. That means I'm good." Like, no, actually, you're probably one of the worst things ever. You know, it's like you're not holier than thou because you claim to go to church on Sunday and somebody read you a book and you know some passage and you go, "Oh, Jesus, the Lord and Savior," and then I have to immediately say to them, "You're the ones that hate the Masons. Usually Christians hate Masons, right? The Freemasons." I'm like, but you know the book that you read? Sorry to fucking break it to you, but the King James that you all love so much, it was written by, and the printing press is owned by Masons. They edited the book. Shakespeare and his people fucking re-edited the original script. And the script was written by who? Doesn't matter. Masons wrote the Bible, all of them. It's not getting printed on a printing press. No one owned a printing press except for the Masons. And so if they're going to edit or alter or change something, it has to, you can't use my printing press, that's mine. I'm not printing that piece of shit book. I'm writing the piece of shit book the way I want it. Right? How many, and then the higher knowledge is, can you just give it up? This Jesus figure fucking thing, thing's not coming back. It's either Jesus' imagination, it's always been here, and the whole book is an astrotheological book, and it's a book about how the body functions, and it's a book about some history and some states of consciousness. Unless you can accept that from the esoteric standpoint, that's what it's saying, because you're reading it in English. How many times has it been altered and changed, and what language was originally written? You don't even know. You never looked at the original script. You have no fucking clue. So when people always, the Bible shit, I'm like, throw the Bible out, burn it. Burn the Bible, burn the Quran, burn all of your fucking holy books, burn the recipe books, fuck it all. I'm like Thanos here. Burn the whole fucking thing down. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Because I already know better. If we just eliminated the idea that some guy in history, hey, there might be some good history there, but let's eliminate that. Now we can all be of one world religion, yes? Because what would you know? But delete your history. Boop, out of here. Here. There you are. Who's your God? What's God? Do you know about theism? What does that mean? Do you know about deities? Huh? You ever heard of this guy that used to walk around in the desert and he had like 12 apostles? You know, constellations not adding up? He was 33, vertebrae, no? You know, nothing about that. Okay, cool. How's your day? Look at this tree here. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this, look at all that, look at this. Look at this shit we got. You ever seen a roller coaster? You ever been on that? Did you ever play around in the park? Huh? Oh, cool, let's go do that. The fuck does anybody need to know? You hungry? Let's go find some food. You gotta take a dump? Do it over there. There's a toilet right there. What do you gotta do? You dirty? We got showers, we got you can bathe in there. What do you wanna do? You wanna draw something? You wanna paint? What do you wanna do? You're curious about where you came from? Oh, I'll write you a book. Why would you believe me? How about you make up a story? How about you make up your own story about where you came from? How would you know? You can't know. That's the thing. You cannot. It's literally a knife cutting itself. It can't happen. You can't know where you came from, other than say, "Well, I came from myself. Here I am." That's what you have. I am. That's it. I am. Done. And then after that, put anything you want. But where did you come from? Oh, right there. Oh, I came from right here. I'm right here. What the fuck? People try too hard with their religious. Oh gosh. But it says it right there. And I just go, didn't you tell me this in 1999? And now it's 2021. Every day, every year, somebody telling me about this return of the Savior and shit. I mean, hey. If you just, instead of making it all allegory, why don't you just break it down for people? What does atonement mean? What does it really mean? What does it have to do with cerebral spinal fluid? What does it have to do with fasting? You know, the days in the desert. What does it have to do with, you know, the Golgotha, meaning the skull? What does the pineal gland have to do with Mount Pineal? I mean, why don't we just break it down in how your body functions? Okay, I'll write you a book. Why write it in a story form to confuse people? You're confused? Which language do you want to just? Dude said this yesterday. He was wilding out. He was preaching hard, yo. And he said this, and I found it to be delightful. That religion is the gateway to spirituality. It can hinder a lot of people. People, once you find a religion, once you open the door and go into spirituality, close the fucking door, leave it open, do whatever you want, but leave it alone. Now you're there. Leave the shit away. Just get rid of the religion. Now you're spiritual. It is a different, when people make fun of it, go, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. Okay, those assholes, they're saying that because they don't even know what they're talking about. Those are like, you know, green everything, and I'm vegan, and I'm spiritual. Fuck them people. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm saying, if people grew up and have their certain set of values and you'd call it types of magic. There's chaos magic, and then there's practical, real, like there's methodical magic that you would do, is ritualistic magic. And so religion is a type of ritualistic magic. Every Sunday you go when you listen, and here's part of it. But once that gets you into whatever the magic is, whatever that religion is pointing at, or even atheism can take you there too, to find spirituality, just throw the books away. They're garbage. You can use them because you know them. You can use them as here to point at something. Okay, see, this is how they taught you, and this is what you were reading exoterically. Let me explain to you what this really means. How about here, Santos and everybody else? Tell these ones that know the most about the Bible. I know a little bit. I know what it really means, but I haven't gone through it page by page. Deconstruct the Bible and take everything and say, okay, because Neville Goddard did it, but he didn't write it down. He just said it. A lot of people never wrote it down. I mean, I'm sure there's bits and pieces, but if we just walk through the Bible, because everybody likes that, we can do it with the Quran too. So apparently the Bible is the sun book and the Quran is the moon book. This is what I've heard, but I've not read too much of the Quran. So walk through the Bible and explain to what each thing is referring to. You know, what every, like as you run through that, what did they mean when they talked about this many pieces of silver? What did they mean about crossing the river? What did they mean? You know, let's just break it down simply. Here's what the story is, and here's a side by side. This is what it means from a left brain person. Here's what it means, and here's story time version. People get stuck in the story. You understand? They get stuck in story. See, this is Storyland, Storyville right here. New Orleans is Storyville, and that is actually the name of this little park. They get stuck in the story, not realizing it as it actually has a physical, spiritual counterpart to it. You know what I mean? Like Santa Claus. You know, I mean, think about it. Believing that the Bible is this thing that is the instruction, the basic instructions before leaving Earth, right? Is as silly as being an adult believing that Santa Claus really exists, not knowing that, and even people that know, because everyone knows Santa Claus isn't a real thing, to explain to them where that story really was manufactured from. They're getting into John Allegro and the Holy Cross and the mushroom, you know, the shamans, the Santa Claus, the Amanita muscaria, the reindeers that were searching for the magic mushrooms, the why they could fly, like getting into all of that allegory. I mean, hey, now all of a sudden your Christian mystical religion has a different face once you get into Satan and Santa. I mean, and delivering presents. Presents is an anagram for serpents. Serpent. Presents is serpent. What does Santa bring you? You know, presents, gifts. Seems very satanic, huh? Christians that celebrate Christmas. A lot of devil going on there. What's up with all the commercial thing? What's up with the, you know? Isn't that you're gonna go buy some stuff from the store? All the evil products from the store that were made by little elves in the North Pole. I mean. Oh, Eric, Badlands, South Dakota, definitely melted buildings. Yep. I never seen them. That's funny. I was talking about Badlands, the video game, right? That's a video game or a TV show. Video. I think it's both. Badlands, a TV show, and we were talking about that the other day. Wait, are you being funny? Nah, bro. The Masons just say they built it. What are you talking about? Like the built what? Oh yeah. Exactly. What's up, CB? Oh, the old, yeah, the structures almost certainly. I mean, we as a community, I would say, would just go, okay, Tartarian. That seems like what we were given as a name, a label for that empire. And certainly the technology looks like it was melted. And how it was melted, I have my theories, and it has to do with electrical discharge, plasma, and go and look up. Go to YouTube and look up videos of electrical boards melting because of the degree of heat. So if the Earth is the Mother Earth, the motherboard, we're standing on top of a motherboard. We're not in a computer simulation. We're standing on top of a computer, right? If that's what it is, and all of these things we see as pyramids and with capstones, capacitors, these things that are electrical instruments, if somewhere in the system at some point in time there was one of the breakers didn't work, and the heat got too high and melted all the buildings, is the same thing that would happen in an electrical system. The heat would go from 0 to like a degree that could melt buildings. You can't do that with fire. That's not happening. But an electrical, like think of welding, like how hot that gets, all electrical based. If we're running that through the system, and these big buildings are literally giant capacitors, that's what it looks like, and that's what it seemed like happens. Look at the Ozarks. Look at the Google Earth picture. Just look at the Ozarks and how the Ozarks, the way the water is, it looks literally like if you were to take an electrical. You ever seen this on wood? You take the hot and the cold and put it onto wood, and it does this pattern. That's what the Ozarks look like. It's made electrically. Yeah, the Freemasons. Yeah, they found it for free. Yeah, that's how it works for sure. They didn't build shit. The Freemasons didn't do shit. There are some Masons, mother sons. Most Masons never even picked up a Mason. Like, they don't even know how to do masonry. I'm like, hey, you're a Mason, right? Like, yeah. I was like, you want to come tile my bathroom? They're like, I don't know anything about that. I was like, I thought you said you were a Mason. I can tile my fucking bathroom. I've never called myself a Mason, though. But yeah, but there are Masons that have knowledge of this, right? Doesn't mean the Freemasons are different than the Masons. Thank you, Crow. Yeah, they came up on it for free. So in one way, like if you just like if the realm if we get let me use this idea here. In one idea, it's like if this realm just restarted at 0, like here we go, it's a new day and there's a tenth of the number of people here. Wouldn't you just, and we just go, okay, the financial system's gone to shit. Wouldn't we all just go, okay, money doesn't matter anymore? You just pick a house, and it's your house. Nobody got worried. Hey, there's your house. And then, so that's your Freemasonry, right? And then we'd start farming. Like, there's a garden, starting a garden, free house. No shit. This money thing was seeming to get in the way, huh? And so maybe that's what, you come to a new land, empty housing, what do you do? It's Freemasonry. Why wouldn't you? Why would you rebuild something? So, but then the ones that then, after getting the free shit, then they designed the money as a fiat currency to leverage power, which was the bullshit part. The masonry and having free buildings, have whatever the fuck you want. A bigger house, I know so many people say they had a big house, they hated it. It's too much upkeep. They want a small house. Like, what the fuck do I need a giant house? I got a kid, and me, my wife, and a kid, and we got this fucking 4,000 square foot. For what? Most people don't want big houses. But what I was saying is like, It was funny. He's like, yeah, husband, wife, 2 kids, and they had more people working in the house as like servants and cleaners and this and that more people than they had in their like ever. That was more. There was like 10 of them to keep the upkeep on the house. It was like 10,000 square feet, this and that, a couple cars, blah blah blah. Like for what? Have a small house. So houses are already built. There are enough domiciles for everyone on the planet right now. What do you really need? Let's go through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know what's not on there? Money. I guarantee that. Money doesn't exist in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First thing you need in life: breathing, spirit, breath, oxygen. Number 1. Number 2 is probably water, clothing, then food, and then shelter. And after that, everything is cake, right? That's all you need. Food, clothing, shelter, water, and then you work on the more advanced things. But nowhere in there is implied money even needs to exist. Okay, what's barter trading system makes things easier? No, it doesn't. You see, look at the systems as they're working right now. The collapsing of systems. I don't care what system you look at. Socialist, communist, capitalist, doesn't matter. They're all built to fail when it's based upon fiat currency, which relies on leveraging things through interest, income tax, and inflation. The 3 I's, which are all usury. So all the people that love the Bible, you better start flipping the money changers tables over, because that's what your boy Jesus did, right? Why? Because he didn't like usury. So if you're a Christian and you work at a bank, you aren't a Christian. No, you are not. You are everything that Jesus dude hated. Because you're taking advantage of people. That's what he hated. It's usury. Look it up. Go share this with your Bible banging, preaching, bitching friend motherfuckers. You tell them. If they work with banks, if they're comfortable paying taxes and interest and inflation, they're comfortable with that and they think that's normal? No, that's everything the Bible stands against. Guarantee it. Read the fucking thing. Most people out here, they're Christians. They got a Bible they hold on to. They go to church. They never read the goddamn thing. Walking around with a pamphlet. Did you read the pamphlet? I haven't. Did you? Well, let me see. It says right here. What does it say? Well, just read. It says right here. Can you read? Are you a reader? Do you know how to do that? Yeah, the whole Moorish thing, and yeah. This is a Moor. Like, you know what a Moor is? It's swamplands, right? Who's this? Is it Aaron Coleman? What's up, yo? People that enjoy arguing. Yeah, I would agree. More likely than not, Moorish. But you know, that's a whole thing. Like Fez on a hat, Moors. Like there's everybody likes to claim some sort of dominion and ownership over like where did civilization start from? Who built it? You know, for me, I like to just dismantle all of that and say, who the fuck cares? We're here now. Let's just work on it. Here's the tribe now. What's up? I don't give a fuck here's what I learned from Carlin. If you wear a silly hat, you know, if that's part of your gang, that you got to put a fucking stupid hat on, I'm not sure I agree with you. If you need a badge to tell me something, I don't know what you're saying. Hats and badges, Yeah, I mean, sure, when we get into it, it's probably the Moorish, but you know, that's such a long study. Once you get into that, you've avoided looking into other alternative histories, because I know people that are into certain tribal shit in America that they're talking about the Moors weren't it. That they know they have feathers in their hair. They know their lineage for generations. They speak the tongue. They don't call themselves Chickasaw or Chickasaw or any of the, they know the original name, and that's what they use. And they say, no, it's before the Moors. And there's even an argument amongst the Moors and the Indians, which is crazy. But whatever. What's up, Stevie? You haven't watched me while? Still out here preaching? The good word as always, huh? What's up, musicians? Yeah, the liquefaction seems like the answer to what happened with the mud flooding. What else here? What's up, Jessica Bird? What you doing? Yeah, the resets happen it seems like that's what's occurring in society. And funny, I was talking to some older people a couple nights ago about this, but without saying reset or saying what's going on in the world economy and the world stage. But they were talking about the same kind of thing. It was about because in New Orleans, hurricane happens, and the infrastructure is fucked. Like the streets are fucked. We really just got power, not to like the whole city. Like outside of here, it's still fucked. People are like, oh, there was a hurricane there. When was it? It was a long time ago. They don't even remember. Like, if you go outside of the city limits of New Orleans, it's still fucked. And even in New Orleans, some stoplights still ain't working. There's holes in the street. They're still cleaning up garbage. I mean, people left. So what we were talking about was there's way less people here, and the people that stay are like those are the people that survived the reset. Everybody else, there's a lot of people. I mean, even the building I live in, I don't know, maybe 50% of the people that were there before. Like my building was filled to the brim. I think it's like 440 units, and now maybe 200 units. And they're still cleaning up and fixing things in the building. So the whoever stays survives the reset, and that goes for the entire city and the world as a totality. I think the populations are moving no matter what. A lot of people just moved from here, and then you have the other part of the population wipe, which has to do with the thing that I cannot speak about on here, the boogeyman. You know what I'm talking about? That's gonna eliminate a big deal of the population, a big part of it. That's just what's gonna happen. Or, okay, and I was told somebody I was gonna go into this aspect of that. The positive aspect of the Jabberwockies. Yeah? You understand what I'm getting at here? The positive aspect of that. Well, if the zombie apocalypse does happen and people are being morphed and altered anyways, at least they'll be able to be controlled. Understand? If someone turns into a full-on zombie because something's happening in the plasma, something's happening because of diet, something's happening because they could actually turn that zombie off. They could just go boop. They could be at a control unit and they have some graphene oxide running through the system. They could be like, nope, okay, here's how the population, and all of a sudden we're walking through the streets and there's just bodies on the floor everywhere. Why? Because those are the ones that were poisoned to begin with, and maybe it was just to save the rest of the, if I'm playing positive outlook, positive spin on the shit, they just wait for, okay, they know plasma apocalypse is gonna happen. And let's say it happens Christmas this year. And they shut off the electrical grid. Everything goes down on purpose because they know what's happening. So they firewall the whole thing off. And then 3 days of darkness, blah, 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 and there's a plasma event. And then that fucks up people's systems because some people, because of their diets throughout their life, they're gonna have too many salts, too many heavy metals, blah, blah, blah. Some people are gonna die, some people are gonna turn into zombies. And now, as the system comes back on and you got the Walking Dead basically, they can hit a button and turn them all off. Because they have control of the graphene oxide in their system through a 5G network. So maybe let's not be too quick to think that isn't to save a fucking shit ton of people. Maybe it's saving people from death. Yes, it's gonna kill people now. Let's just accept everyone dies. I mean, not all of us. But, and some people go and, you come and you go. And they'll go into a new life, they'll go into a new sleeve, a new suit, a new life in heaven, maybe in another body, who knows, maybe another realm, I don't know. But maybe it's saving the population from complete destruction. Because if people weren't didn't take all of that graphene in them and they weren't able to be controlled remotely through a system, then maybe we would have to individually, really real deal, like all the movies, like hatchet up some zombies running through here, and it's all chaos, all hell breaks loose. But they're going, okay, we know it's going to happen. How do you really explain to the population, like, we can see the future, like, we already know what's going to happen, we've mapped the shit out, there's going to be zombie apocalypse, right? How can we tell you that and then get you to go, hey, if everyone comes in here and gets this thing, we can maybe save part of the population from the eventual disaster that is impending because of a plasma and a disease and something that is, you know, you couldn't convince the world that, but you could convince them something else. And now, if some of these people do turn, they just go, boop, hit a button. You take their entire system until they just melt, until they liquefy. Hey, I know, bizarre, out there, fringe theory, but if you've been paying attention, I haven't been wrong about too much. and the world, if you didn't know, has become a complete shit show. It's a clown circus. It is a holy, what the hell is going on, right? You think it just levels off and goes like, find some normality? I don't know. Eric. Well, there's a cat that runs up and down these streets over here. Yeah, you know, hey, musicians, you know what I mean, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, musician. Well, I mean, the system was already, well, depending on where you live and what country and what system they're running on, it's all eventually going to, anyways. It doesn't exist. The real world, those two things don't exist. Hey, little spider guy, you want to see a little spider guy? Oh, he left. There's really only creditors and debtors in a sense of, if I let you borrow something, then you have to return it. That's all that really works. Other than that, what else do you do? I build you something, there it is. Now build me something. Here's a piece of food, you eat it. You can't return that food to me. Maybe you can make something for me in the future. That's all that exists. Other than that, the whole system of fake fiat bullshit and taxes and interest and all that shit, it's like me just going, here's a piece of paper, go get anything you want with it, but you better, I just go, hand you a piece of paper, and I magically say to this person over here, that piece of paper has value. And then you go over there and you get something with it, and I say, hey, but you need to return me a lot more paper. But I don't know how to get paper. Okay, well, I got a job for you to do. I give you a piece of paper that I just out of thin air created and said, now go over there and build me something. That will take care of it. It's wage slavery. What do you think? That goes away. It has to. Wage slavery is, if people don't get it, the people really that still believe in these systems, especially capitalism, you have to be a complete goofy nutcase. You have to have the sack of nuts hanging off your chin all day, just going, of course that works. That's why I'm rich and you're not, but it's the best system ever. Because they don't go anywhere to see the people that are like, oh yeah, socialism, communism sucks, right? Because all you see on TV is the propaganda that it does. I'm not suggesting it's good, but did you ever drive around a capitalist country to where you don't, where you don't see the big buildings, where there are people that are suffering, eating garbage, not, dilapidated? I mean, that's a lot. Nobody wants to go, hey, check this out. This happens here too. And you know why? Because the people that have a lot get greedy. Greed is a fucking one. Hey, there you go. You like the Bible so much, you can't be a capitalist. I guarantee that. I guarantee you can't. Greed is one of those sins, right? Don't you hate them seven deadly sins? I see these fat fucks out here preaching on the corner. I'm like, sloth. Isn't slobbery and overeating and consuming too much? Isn't that one of the 7 deadly sins? Sitting here preaching the book. I'm like, you can't even say that. You can't read anything out of that book. You have just committed One of the greatest sins. Guy in the church. Adultery. He's sleeping with every one of these old women in that fucking, in the pews. You can't preach that shit from the pulpit. I mean, do I really care? I don't, you know. Fucking seven deadly sins, whatever. Do what you like. Enjoy yourself. Jessica, you're a mixture of pirates and Indians. I feel you on that. Yeah, I definitely I have a very piratey thing, and I like the Indian tribal vibe. Yeah, I feel that. How am I? Doing all right. As I would remind everybody here, because we still do live in a system that requires economic functions and biosurvival units. I'm kind of low on the cash, credit, and currency these days. So if anybody wants to, feel free. It would be very helpful. You can throw some money in my tip jar, my donation bucket, whatever you like. Yeah, CashApp, PayPal, TSAR, capital XEN, $, T, capital TSAR. It's in the description box. TSAR, XEN. It's my CashApp. PayPal is paypal.me / capital TSAR, capital XEN. And Venmo too, I think. But try, if you only have Venmo, use it. But I have to fix that. I can't access that right now. So I'm kind of low on currency. So if you want to help me with that, that'd be great. But other than that, I've been having splendid time. Sitting here in the park, doing a show, drinking a beer, talking some shit. State sound. What, CB? Where you at? The state sound like a mess. I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. I haven't been anywhere else but here, but I can say here, it's just less people. I mean, there's right now people are having a picnic or party right there. Like, still, life is happening. It's normal. But I could only imagine. Like, I talked to some other people in other cities, and they're like, yeah, it's pretty fucked here. Nothing to do. Can't go unless you got this. Like, there's a couple places yesterday I was out. I was trying to get into a couple bars, and they were like, papers? I was like, no. It's like, I'm not giving, no. You serious? What kind of? I was like, don't make me play all this. Don't make me tell you what mandates mean. Don't make me fucking play legal games with you right now. I was like, I'm trying to spend money at your establishment. Shut the fuck up. Let me in. Yeah, but so many businesses are suffering that they're kind of understanding they have to try to look like they're enforcing something, but then they're like, that's literally, this business will go under unless we let people in. If people collectively just said no to the bullshit, they would just have to let things happen as they did, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where everything was just enjoying themselves. Now everybody's like, everybody's gonna look at each other like, did you just sneeze? Are you wearing that? Where's your diaper? Why aren't you wearing a diaper on your head? You're being playful, you're Greek and Spaniard. What's up, Jimin? What you doing? Jimin and Finn all up in here. Circuit City, remember Circuit City? What are you doing? Rural Minnesota. What's up, Braintree? You said I day trip with my friend who could sing by the pool. Yeah, there was a few of us. It was me and her roommate and some other dude, and then we kind of split up ways. Just to we started out all day tripping, and then we kind of got lost in the museum, because the museum is big enough where if somebody goes in one room and then we go into another, and then you kind of try to look for each other, and you're like, fuck it, we'll link up when we go outside. So we just like linked up every once in a while, and seeing some of the coolest shit There's a giant greenhouse that has a rainforest in it with like waterfall. It's fucking awesome. And then there's another greenhouse that is a different tropical luscious paradise, and all the trees and plants and everything's labeled. And there was a greenhouse with I don't even know how many different kind of cactuses and different types of plants that were probably all of them were psychedelic, but there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants. And then there was all grow rooms and shit we go into. And then there was the train track. I'll show you guys. Go to my Telegram. Go to my download Telegram. You guys can link up with me on there, and you can see this cool shit I can't show you on here. And I can put it on there. Other than Instagram, I can put like a minute on. So some of these really cool adventures. You can see the train station, the miniature train model of New Orleans, which is so rad. And yeah, good times. You're in Dublin is fucked. Well, I think that some parts of the U.S. I haven't really. The people that I talk to, they're in suburban areas, so their life doesn't look too much different than what suburban night life looks like, anyways. You know what I mean? You got your fucking TGI Fridays, your Ruby Tuesdays. You get your neighbor, which you just wave to, anyways. You know, like that kind of shit. But like city life, I don't know too many people that are living in city. A lot of people I knew that were living in major cities like New York or whatever, they moved. And it was like just a happenstance that they did. I don't think it had anything to do with the thing going on. But hopefully, and I think I heard, and y'all should get familiar. So we haven't had Mardi Gras, which is fucking retarded because of this bullshit, which is insane because it's 2 weeks of absolute awesomeness. But this year, I heard that they're already accepting applications and things for the floats, which they wouldn't be doing if they weren't going to organize it. So they're planning on having Mardi Gras this year. So come down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I don't know when it starts this year. I think it's an early start. I think it's in February. I think it's like maybe mid-February. Sometimes in the beginning of February to March it starts. But then it's 2 weeks of just park your car, don't go to work. People are in the streets all day. Complete joy. So come down, and you guys can hang out with me. By that time, maybe I'll have a giant mansion or something. And if not, and anybody wants to, rent out a big ass house. We'll see. Come fucking party, dude. Hey, Eric, you said breweries, you've been able to play some shows? Nice. Well, I guess so. I got a big building. I have a lot of acquaintances and friends ish. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I'm more of I usually do this solo thing. You know, I've just been used to it. For a while, I like to be around people all the time, and now I'm kind of like, just go do it by myself. That way, I don't gotta worry about what everybody else is up to. I don't gotta like I kind of tour guided a little bit yesterday for some people, which I don't mind doing, but I don't like to, well, is everybody ready to go to the next place and do the thing? It's like if I'm done with something, I'm just fucking going. What's the Telegram? Telegram, just download the app, and then it's, look at my list of videos. The last video I did, that's my Telegram. It says it right there, okay? It's Zen, I think it's just Zen_Atman. You should be able to put it up. Once you get in there, you could do a little search bar and probably find my name and link up with me there. Oh yeah, the plants. And if you go to Telegram too, I think I have a video of those plants. Well, my friend was doing all the videography, Because I was just like, I'm just like, I don't have it in me to absorb all of this whilst psilocybin was running through me, and also play with the phone. I was like, you do that if you want to. So lots of cool pictures. Lake City, Florida. Florida? What part of Florida? How do we say Florida? I don't know. Maybe it's because of Florida Lee. I don't know. I never say Florida. I can't even get myself to say it right. Florida. What part? Is that east side? East side? Or the Gulf side? Or the tip? Oh yeah, there's a lot of springs there. Oh, if you like springs, check out findaspring.com. It's my buddy Daniel Vitalis. I met him years and years ago. Findaspring.com. So if anybody's hunting for springs, and this would be helpful for people to do, especially if there's going to be a real deal end of the world apocalyptic scenario, print out yourself a fucking map off of there. It'll tell you. So people, what they do is they do it like a geocache. Is that what it's called? Geocache, geolocator, and they'll map it out there, and you can find all of the springs around the country. It might even be worldwide now. But I haven't looked at it in years, but I know that was pretty big when he was kind of popular for a second on the YouTube scene. He was a water shaman kind of, and then he became he was like water shaman, vegan-esque, and then he got out of the vegan thing because he'd seen it was doing damage and became like raw survival, bow hunting, burly, you know. He calls the whole bee, he calls it rewilding. Did you guys see the little bee try to fly on my ear? Little buzzy booger. What are you doing? Calls it rewilding yourself. Did you see that? You thought I was just like twitching, like ah. It was surthrival. Good word. Instead of survival, it's like surviving and thriving. Surthrival. Check him out. He's a cool dude. But he's a midget, so just so you know, getting into it. I call anybody that's not as tall as me a midget, so. Florida has a rep for being weird. Yeah, it does. I would say Florida is probably, according to most, the weirdest place, right? In the country, the weirdest. Like Portland, always like, oh, stay weird or whatever. Like no, Florida, it's because I think you have the people from the north, the rich, waspy white people from the northeast that they fly south for the winter. Like them birds, snowbirds they call them. So you got those people staying in condos and shit, and then you have the kind of dudes you might see in Jersey Shore, but they end up in Miami because the weather is better. And then you have lots of cocaine, lots of people with great suntans. There's some weird motherfuckers, and there's all sorts of wildlife and shit. I've been through Florida many times. I never stayed though. I lived in Alabama Florida state line. I lived at Floribama. Well, I didn't live at Floribama, but I was like a mile from there. Crazy place, man. Crazy times. Oh, hey CB, you're Cuban? That's funny. I was hanging out. I was hanging out with a Dominican yesterday. Fucking hilarious dude. DR, yo. Trailer parks? Yeah, I would say that Alabama and Florida are probably known for some trailer trash kind of thing. I think that would probably be more Mississippi. Alabama would be more trailer park-esque. Florida, there's enough like rich cocaine cowboys. Everybody wearing Versace, listen to that. When I think of Florida, I think of Riff Raff. Anybody know the rapper? His name's Riff Raff. I think of him. That's what I think of Florida. And it's interesting because when I first heard his music and seeing what he was doing, I was like, what a goof. And then I started to see his Instagram and got to see who he was. I was like, I like that dude. He's funny. He's being funny. He's just like, that's what I do. It's just be goofy. Riff Raff, man. Pretty hilarious dude. Riff Raff. Jessica, yeah, street performers. That's the best people. Just walking around New Orleans is the best shit ever. You can find a conversation with anyone, anywhere, anytime. Yeah, the trailer parks. I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody from Florida. I assume there's some places that are just full on trailer park. It's kind of like you get a certain. What up, Choo Choo? You get a certain idea of what a city or a country or a state looks like because of one specific part of it, and it usually doesn't hold true for the entire state. But the weirdness of Florida, I think, as far as I've seen it, it's pretty strange place, strange people. As far as people that are eclectic, the most eclectic place is here. Like, just people that just somehow weave together, that they look. If you looked at this person, you'd be like, there's no way those people get along. And they get along. Like, everybody has their own little style, and everybody's like, cool shit, man. It's just that. It's very eclectic here. Florida's weird in the sense of just like, I think because they all like, they all traw in there. I've got a little, there's enough of that. There's enough to hick down there. they wrestle enough gators. They don't give a shit. They'll just kick a gator in the face. That's why Florida's weird. Aaron, Florida would be amazing if it weren't for all the old ass hags. Nosy Karen ass weirdos. Riff Raff raised you. I mean, I think there's some others that are, Florida. There's some interesting hip hop in Florida. I don't know. I kind of base cities too on music, on the music scene, because that's so much part of my lifeblood. Like, I'm very happy and content today. It could have been the psilocybin from the other day, but it's partly I have a afterglow from that, but it's mainly because I got to go out and see some live music, and that keeps me alive. I was dead for 2 years. There's no live music here. It was like every once in a while I'm like, oh, bright spot. Because normally, if you guys watch my early videos, when I was walking around, anywhere I walk to, anywhere you walk in the city, I'm telling you, you can't go 3 blocks without finding music on a street corner. When you're in the city, it's music everywhere. Outside, inside, walk in and out of bars, just, yeah. And for a while I was like, I wanted to listen to The Day the Music Died on repeat and just sit there and cry in a puddle of my own, and just bathe in a puddle of my own tears. Jessica, you said you're from Florida, but you're a very sweet person. Wait, hey Jessica, are you the Jessica that I know that I've taught, or you're a different Jessica? Did you change your name? You're not the Jessica I met, right? That I've hung out with, or are you that Jessica? You're not that Jessica, because I can't tell by your picture, and some people change their names, like on here, get a new account, change the name, whatever. You're not that Jessica, are you? Because that Jessica I didn't think was from Florida. Well, speaking of, if I haven't talked to her in a bit, I should probably say hello. Yeah, what other? Yeah, I think she's from Minnesota or some shit. What? So everybody here, greatest places you've visited, or cities that you like to live in? Where have you been? That's the cat's tits, or the peach's pajamas, or the what is it? Cat's pajamas? What does that even mean? Cats don't wear pajamas? I don't get it. Somebody want to explain that to me? Why is that said? Let's see here. Let's see. Cat's whiskers? The cat's, how about the cat's clitoris? Kind of a double entendre, huh? Somebody the other day was trying to convince me to do stand-up comedy, like do an open mic or something. I don't know how I would do it. I can't deliver a joke very well. Does anybody ever try to repeat a joke? I fucking suck at it. I can't, like if somebody tells me a joke and I try to do it, I'm like, no, that doesn't, I can only do it off the cuff. It would have to be, anybody familiar with Andrew Schultz? His last special, the last one, he's doing a huge tour right now called Infamous. Looks pretty badass. And if he's in your city, go fucking see him. Andrew Schultz. But his last special was called, what the hell was the name of it? Oh shit. Basically what he does for most of his show is, it was called Crowd Work. It's called the Crowd Work Special. So it's a video, so leading into it is him and this, is it Hannibal? No, not Hannibal Buress. I don't know who he's talking to. He was in the green room and he goes, yo, you know what you should do? You should do a special and release it on the same day as Dave Chappelle's special comes out. He's like, but I don't have material ready. He's like, no, but just do that shit you do. He's like, what do you mean, crowd work? He's like, yeah. Just do crowd work. And he goes, so you mean, you want me to just go on a stage right now, Dave Chappelle's releasing it out, and have no material written, and just do an hour special right now, and release it today? He goes, yeah. He goes, okay. One of the funniest fucking hours of comedy. It's just all off the cuff. Nothing prepared. No, you never met me. Okay, you're a different Jessica. Oh, hello, Jessica that I haven't met. And hello, other people that I haven't met. It's the cat's meow. Cat's meow. Cat Mao Zedong. It's like an Asian cat. An Asian cat, instead of their slits going up and down, they go this way. There you go. It's like, have you ever been with an Asian woman? The vagina doesn't go this way; it goes this way. Yeah, it's squinty-eyed joke. Get it? Nah. That's about the only prepared joke that I have. So that's an old one. I do like Asian chicks though. I have not been with an Asian chick in a very long time. They always have this great aroma about them. Anybody here? Anybody know Asian dudes? I don't know. I've never been with an Asian dude, so I don't know what they smell like. But as far as I can tell, aromatically, the Asian woman is always been top-notch smell, top to bottom. Slittoris. Well, maybe, you know what? Hey, you guys want to help me manifest this here? Let's you guys want me to teach you magic, how magic works? Because I can re-release the old videos. I can tell you, we can go through a couple ways to. Do you guys want to learn how to do some magic right now? Have you guys ever watched, or do you know how to make sigils? Do you know how they're formed? So we're not gonna get into super sigils in the next shit. I could explain to you how to do it right now, and then how to turn that into like manifestation magic. That because I would like to meet. I am going to meet a beautiful Asian woman. I will, certainly. And it's done. I need to let it go off in the universe. But anybody want to know how to make sigils? Do you know how to make sigils? Sigils. As I'm saying sigils, I was reading Slippery Slit that Mr. Braintree just put there. Finn, you don't know how to make sigils? Do you want me to explain it to you? Okay, here's how to make a sigil. Well, see, this is what I told. This is the original work that I was telling people when I used to make a lot of videos on magic and the principles of it, and the black, the right, the left, the white, all of the different kinds of what you can you can create like the little mini me-seeks. You can create sigils. You can higher god forms. You can create all sorts of these different characters, and you can use a grimoire to do it. But what I always tell people is, you don't get to take a pen and pencil to the next realm. You just take your spirit with you, which means you have to maintain consciousness, which is Dan Winter. He says, the only thing you need to learn here in this realm is how to take your memory through death. I repeat that. You need to learn how to take your memory through death. Now, from an electrical engineering standpoint, your spirit is something. It's an electrical system. It's a discharge. It's a plasmic electrical thing. It's a thing. It's hardly weighable. It's everywhere. It's the reason when you have a dream and you wake up and it vanishes, you need to be able to, when you have that dream, wake up in the morning and remember it. Because the word mem means water. So we're talking about plasma, which is basically water and fire. It's kind of water fire, I guess. It's like a plasmic water fire electricity. Is that about how it works? And so that's what your spirit is. That's what your memories are. To remember, to have a memory means water and light. Memory is water and light. That's the words. Memory. Take that through death. Death is taking a nap. Go to sleep. You wake up. You were dead there, but you had a dream, and then you wake up and do you remember your dream? That is taking your memory through death. So if you go to sleep, you are dead. For all intents and purposes. What else would you be? You're sitting there like, and then you wake up. Taking that memory through death. Now, the practice to do that is right now ask yourself, am I dreaming? Touch something, look at your hands, what's going on out here? Take a good look around. How vivid and solid is your reality? So that way when you're in a dream, you'll do that too. And then you'll realize you're dreaming. And then as soon as you realize you're dreaming, things become brighter and more vivid, and you can start to adjust and tune things and become lucid in your dreams where you can affect them. So one of the ways to work with that is to make sigils in this real time. So your focus would be to write out, you can do it, there's a few ways you do it. I desire blank, whatever, you have to have a statement. Some people say write it in the now. I have this. I in the future will obtain. That would be too much. You want to get to like right. I expect. I want. I desire. These are whatever you like, but I like the I have. Right? And then I have $1 million. Now, for the universe to provide you with $1 million is going to take a lot. It's going to take a few things. Uh-oh. Leanne, I'm on a show. Leanne, come to the show. For the universe to produce certain things, let me give you an idea, and I'll tell you how to make these sigils in a second. But here's how it works. If you go to the car dealership right now, you go to the lot, you can pick out whatever they have there. You can have it. Simple. Simplest thing to get, one of the used cars. Cheap, nothing really do. You're not gonna really need financing. You can just throw them a couple $1,000s, drive the fucking thing off of there. You're good. Now, if instead you wanted a new car, and you wanted a new car in a specific color, with a specific type of engine, then they're gonna have to put an order into a factory. It's gonna take some. The universe, it still takes. The universe can do anything you want. The universal prime creator, your consciousness, it still get you anything you want. Like if I was like, hey, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to find a leaf. Oh, it's right there. I could find one. I want to find a snack. I could get that in a second. I'd like $1 million to sit right here by my side. It would take a little bit for the universe to coordinate all of the set of events to make that occur, right? So when you're asking for something, especially when you're making a sigil, just so you can be sure that it's occurring, make sure the first few sigils are small. And here's how you make a sigil. I will have, let's just say, a beer. Now what you would do is you would write it down. I will have a beer. Okay? You get rid of all of the vowels, and then any double letters, you cross them out. And then you circle all of the consonants, and then you'll take each one of those letters and turn it into a symbol. So if it's an A, you could write it really big, you could write it really small, and say, I will. So you got a W, an L, an H, a V, and a B, and an R. Now you're creating inside of a circle, so this is the containment. The circle is the containment vessel for your objective of what you want. There's a reason you have squares and circles. This is masonry, squares and circles. You circle the square and square the circle. It goes into higher forms of magic. So you create that circle, which is holding on to a bit of energy. That's why pendants often are circles. It's holding whatever's inside. It's a protection thing, and to cast something, casting a spell, casting an idea. And you take those letters and you create a symbol any way you want it. You could actually, if you want to make the W this way and that way, you can. And you want to create an abstract symbol. So it's something. So what's happening is that abstract symbol, now you can't read it. It doesn't look English. You're looking at it as a specific, like if you look at a tree, what is it? Can you really decipher what a tree is? No. Can you decipher what a symbol, the sign of nature, the signature of the thing? You can kind of go, yeah, it speaks to your subconscious. You go, oh, I know this kind of tree. It speaks to your subconscious. Your conscious mind saying, I will have a beer, it will get in the way of you getting a beer, right? So when you put that down and turn it into a symbol, a simple symbol is a sigil. And you create that sigil that you can't understand, and you stare at it, you focus on it, and your intention, then what you do? Now it's locked into your subconscious, where your subconscious is now developing that. It's subconscious because you can't access it. It's subconsciousness. It's not for you to have. It's Santa's little workshop. It's God's workshop, right? You take that sigil that you've made, and because you don't want to focus, unless it's a really big ask of the universe, something that you really don't believe that you can have. You really want a Ferrari, but you can't really afford it right now. But the universe will give it to you if you really believe. If it's something like that, it's something you want to hold on to. But if it's something small, I want a beer. I write that down, I draw that thing, and then I burn it. I bury it. Whatever you want to do with it, just get rid of it. And it's done. And then we move on to the next thing. What's next? You know, go about your day. And whatever you ask for, you'll receive it. It will never be late. It'll be exactly when it needs to be there. Hey, look I got a beer. My back catalog, well, I was saying this earlier. I have to, for me to do it through my phone, it's a whole fucking thing, man. Oh, I got a little spider hanging out on top of my thing. I wish I can't take a picture of it because it's on top of my phone. What are you doing, dude? Oh, maybe he'll go over to this. Dude, walk over here. It's so much easier to do from a PC. You know, that I can see the whole thing and I can hit the buttons and do and doing it on here is a whole fucking, it just takes too long to go through, and then there's a lot more work on here. So I will try to re-release some of that shit, or redo them, and see the reason I'd redo them is because people still ask me the same questions anyways, and like, what am I really gonna do? Tell somebody, hey, go watch that video. Or which one? How many videos do you have? Like 100? No, like there's like 3,500 videos. Like, which one? It's like, I talked about that one video. Go find it. I don't know which one. So I just redo it, I guess. Explain it to people in a different way. Do a sigil? Yeah, I mean, I don't have any paper with me, but that was your instructions right there. Yeah, Finn. Realize you're dreaming in this realm and let the creator show you. It's the sense of humor. Yeah. Why don't you magic money? I explained this a long time ago, that I don't practice a lot of magic to that degree, because here's why. I know that if I started doing that and doing magic and manifesting money, I'd be so focused on just the magical get some money thing that I wouldn't do these videos and teach anybody. If I came up on it like really did, do you think I'd be out here bullshitting with you guys teaching you? No, I'd probably be doing a little less of that, honestly. You telling me that if you had a yacht and a harem of bad broads, bad bitches in bikinis bathing, and you could eat the lobster on a boat while it's being fanned down, you're telling me you wouldn't do that more often? You know? Would I still have my time and peace and sensible, get the fuck away from me and need my space and be in the park and da-da-da? Of course. Would I still teach? Yes. But it would be a lot less. And so I think the net loss would be how much I can help other people. And so by just saying, hey, you guys want to donate me something, I get to teach you something, and maybe what you do is you do a magic spell for yourself that says, hey, I would like to find $100 so I can have 80 and give Zen 20 for showing me how to do this. And that's my magic, is you learning the magic and then providing to me. You see, then you're cycling it rather than me just keeping it for myself. I mean, shit. I mean, there's plenty of times I have done things to manifest, and then I'm too busy involving myself in whatever I've created. Like if I said, let me get a fucking nice car again and do all this shit, and I would be enjoying that more. Less time for other things. Understand? Yeah, well, CB, I wish I could monetize. They made me unmonetize my channel, and I still haven't even been able to access my money that I did make, the little bit of money, because I had a strike against my channel, and until that strike is removed, even afterwards, I have to mail them and I have to email them and ask them, hey, is it okay that you monetize my channel again? I promise I won't say anything that you guys don't like. You know, it's like it's fucking so many hoops to jump through. And I don't even know that I even get to talk to a human being. It's just computers and algorithms. How many videos of mine gotten struck, blocked, blah, 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 and based on nothing? And then I've tried to say, nah, I'd like to request to double check this. And they're like, no, your request has been denied. I'm like, how I didn't even have that music on. That's not even, what are you talking about? So, that's tricky. Yeah, and so that's also why I like the interaction with people that say, hey, if you guys want to donate. See, this is why people ask me for years now. They're like, why don't you just get a what's the other thing that people use to do special shows that they make, you pay ahead of time to have access to their channel. You can actually do it on here. You can have a subscription base on here too, but I can't do that now because I got fucking shadow block banned, blah blah blah, on all my shit. But the other one, whatever it's called, people always say get one of those, but they tax the fuck out of you. Like it's something like if I did an hour worth of work and I made $100 doing it, they're gonna tax me 45%. I'm like, why are you taxing me? You didn't do anything. I'm happy to, if you host it and I'm paying into a service, I'm happy to give you a few percentage. That's fair. But 45%, and then I gotta pay taxes on taxes, and I gotta LLC that shit out on it. I'm not interested in that. And what that says is if you give me $10, I get 6 of it, and $4 just goes to some random asshole for doing nothing. I don't think that's fair to you or to me. So I give the opportunity for you to give 100% of your donation right to me, so that way I can spread those seeds amongst fellow goofs out here. Yeah, Patreon. Yeah, Patreon. No, it's tax you too much. And a bunch of people that did have Patreons, they, that I've looked at, like why they quit using Patreon. This is people with big channels too. Why they quit using it? Pretty much the same reason. And some people actually got their Patreon shut down, which I didn't think could happen. Like because they were being censored on there. Yeah, where can you say what you really want to say? Where is the speakeasy at? CB, where's my? No. I had to make a decision a little while ago when my channel was shut down because I had 2 strikes, and if I got a third, they eliminate my channel completely. Okay, completely. So my choice was I have to take all of my channel basically, and just put it on private, so they're not accessing that to see if I've said something I shouldn't say according to their censorship bullshit. And so I was like, either leave it all up, and if I do, they just strike my entire channel and it goes to zilch, or put it all behind the firewall and then occasionally release some. At least I keep my channel and the people that rely on me here for information, which is why I'm trying to diversify my bonds. You know what I mean? Find me on the Telegrams. That way we can still have access. Because like when I had a couple big Instagram accounts blocked and shut the fuck down, and so I lost access to a shit ton of people that I used to interact with. I would usually be on the phone like talking. I could call someone. I would be texting them back and forth. So I lost access to hundreds of people that I used to talk to on like a weekly basis. And a lot of those people on Instagram don't even know I do this. It's like, it's like whenever I meet people in public, they don't know I do this. Sometimes I tell them, I'm just like, they're like, so what do you do? Well, kind of do this. But usually people, when they say, what do you do? I'm like, I usually say, you're looking at it. This is what I do. Because, it's kind of weird to, if I do this and someone watches this and then they hang out with me, it's kind of like a different thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the most public thing that I keep private from people. I don't even know how that works. It's like I don't like the idea of like 100,000 viewers and subs. I wouldn't like it. It's too much responsibility, because I like the individual. Like, I can talk to you guys. I can read this shit. You guys can email me, and I will respond most of the time if it doesn't go to spam, or there's it's kind of like a closer community, closer knit thing. Where if I had too many followers and everybody wanted to talk to me, I'm like, I can't. I'm spreading myself too thin. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like when Colin earlier asked me he emailed me, and I was like, let me just answer your question online, and I could give him a 10-minute answer. Imagine if I had 10 times the amount of people ask me that shit. Shows would be infinitely long, and I wouldn't be able to fully answer everybody's questions. What's my Instagram personality? What do you mean? Instagram for me is just basically people that it's just like an easier way. It's an easier way than text messaging people back and forth. And I can just put up stupid memes. Sometimes pictures of things that are kind of the anti-disestablishmentarianism. Pictures of my butthole. Maybe like me waving once in a while. Maybe some cool shit that I've done. But just random little, it's just kind of like whatever the fuck it is. And it just gives me the opportunity to talk to people on the texty part. Yeah, there's not, and in fact, it's funny enough, I don't even think in my description box is my Instagram handle, because when they shut down my first Instagram, and then my second one, I was like, who the fuck cares? Just keep shutting down my Instagrams. So now I'm back down to like a couple hundred people that 50 people that I might talk to regularly. What was strikes for? Some were copyrights, some was misinformation. That happened right after the whole thing started with the 1984 shit, the Orwellian shit that was going on a couple years ago. Right around there, it was immediately, I was just blasted with censor misinformation, medical misinformation kind of shit. I was like, I haven't even given any information. I haven't given it. It's an opinion I have on something, and there's no arguing with that. Because there's not a human being behind it. Go, oh yeah, I get it. You're just giving an opinion. You obviously are not, because I've stated many times I am not a doctor. I'm just talking shit. How you gonna censor me for talking shit with somebody? It's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. Yeah. Oh yeah. Luckily, people don't believe in magic, so I can say anything I want about magic. I can stick into like, people, they've already shit all over homeopathy, and who cares if I say something about piss? Who cares about anything to do with health? Because no one really listens anyways. But if it has to do with other things, there's a few things that they're like, fuck that, you can't say that. So that's why. So I've been. You know how many times I've had like a 2-week ban on here? It really fucking sucks, because I'm doing good. People are coming to shows. I'm making a couple bucks. People are throwing some duckets in there, and then 2 weeks, nobody's coming to live shows because I'm not doing them, and I'm making next to nothing. People now and then, like, even they know. They're like, hey, where you been? I'm like, shut my channel down again. And they'll give me a couple bucks, but like 2 weeks, I'll be like ahead of the game, and then squashed. YouTube's like, nope, 2 weeks, you can't talk again. I don't know how long my last one was. That was really fucking depressing. So I do also have a backup YouTube, but here's the problem with the backup YouTube. Unless I'm on a PC, I can't do live shows. It's so weird. Here's how crazy the rules are, and whatever they're fucking doing. I have an Android, and unless I have 1,000 subscribers, I can't do live shows. But if I have a PC, I can do live shows. What the fuck sense does that make at all? I can't understand it. So the only thing I do with my backup channel to do live shows during the time would be to be at home and use my PC. But nobody knows I have that channel, and I've told people, and I don't have I've cut a few hundred, maybe 500 people. And that's Zen Alchemist. That's my other channel, just in case. So all you know, Zen Alchemist is my other channel as a just in case. Yeah. Let's smoke a fucking Cuban, huh? As I'm sitting here broke, having a Cuban. Who's out here being broke as shit, drinking shit beer and smoking Cuban cigars? This guy. I was like, I find interesting is whenever you're looking at lighting something and you can see the air gassy shit off the top that's kind of like, have you ever seen pavement when it's like a hot desert, when in the road seems to, you can see the heat kind of change it's kind of like a gooey landscape. You know what I'm talking about? Interesting. Is that a blue jay? Huh. Yeah, man, living. There you go. My commercial would be the champagne of bears, Miller High Life, for low lifes. Low lifes like you and me. I mean, literally, it is the next to PBR, two of the cheapest low life shitbaggery people. This is what we drink. But it's not a bad beer. It's a drinkable beer. There's some beer that you can't drink. It's shit. But you got whiskey and weed. Oh, whiskey and weed. Interesting, CB. Whiskey and weed. I don't know that I've ever combined the two. Usually if I'm smoking, maybe vodka. I could do vodka and then get high, but sipping some, do you do it neat? Like neat whiskey or a couple rocks or Jack and Coke, Jim Beam? Irish whiskey, okay. So in the States, people love, bartenders love some Irish whiskey, some, what's your go-to? Jameson? Yeah. People, people here like that's the bartender's choice. Jamie, Jameson. I don't get it. It's okay. It's maybe a little too sweet for me. Like I don't like things that have. Oh shit! Is this really fucking with me like that right now? Oh no. You guys, guess what? I don't know how this happened, but apparently this charger does not want to let me charge my phone. Oh. Maybe this one will work. Let's see. Because I was about to say I only have like 15% charge left. Let's see if this one works. Oh, also, if hopefully it doesn't, but I'm pretty sure I've told you guys there will be. Oh, check out what I brought too. I was gonna do this. Some tarot cards. There will, if you guys want me to read tarot for you, do that. There you go. You can pretend you're sitting in New Orleans, and usually you pay like $15-$20 to have somebody read your cards. Just donate to me a couple bucks on here. I'll do a short reading for you. What was I saying before that? Oh yeah, if the zombie apocalypse happens, and like your city is flooded with zombies or whatever, come to New Orleans, come to City Park, and ask anyone, the guy that feeds the ducks, where's he at? There's people that ask me, are you the motherfucker over there that's always feeding the ducks? The ducks, yeah, that's me. Duck gang. And you come down here. It's I have a very zombie-proof domicile where I live, and right across from botanical gardens, lakes. We got kayaks, so if zombies can't really swim that good, we got in the water. We got food growing everywhere, all sorts of shit going on. Finn, yeah, you gotta have. Everybody says that you want these fancy friends. You gotta have friends in high and low places. You want to pull a collective card? You want that zombie shit because New Orleans voodoo? Yeah, shit. I'm on that zombie shit because I pay attention to what's going on in reality. But the fact that I know I can sniff out a thing, you know, as they're playing it out. I don't care if it's just like the alien invasion will be staged. That's a fake thing, but I think the zombie thing they're putting into effect, it's going to happen. Maybe not to the degree that we see in the movies. Maybe that's a little overkill, but. And also, I mean, dude, I live next to a graveyard. I live next to a cemetery. I know people that do like occult magic and voodoo and shit. Like, that's just real. Okay, I'll pull a collective card. You guys want a card for the collective of the room here? I'll do that. And this is out of the most amazing deck in the world, the Tsar deck. Interesting, because I always called myself TsarXen, because, like Tarzan, because I just thought it was funny way to spell it, and obviously Mazar, which is an anagram for star. But and then somebody got me this deck. Look at that shit. And I actually have two of these because I lost the deck. I don't know I don't know how the hell, where it went. So I was like, dude, I think somebody stole my shit. And somebody one day online was like, hey, I'm gonna send you a deck. Don't they send me the exact same deck? And then as soon as they sent it to me, I found this one, so I have two of them now, which is pretty rad. That's a pretty good cigar too. So I will read for you guys, and I'm only going to use the major arcana because that's just the way to do it. Which is so much easier. I don't want to be too specific, so just a reading there. And there we go. Let's see what we're doing here. Well, it's 22, right? Yes. Do you guys want to watch my dumb face, or do you guys want to watch me shuffle? Do you guys want to see me? Do you guys want to see it when I throw it? Yeah, I'm not feel like fucking with the camera. Okay, so a collective energy for everybody here now. The room. What is the room feeling like? What is what is the day? The energy of the day. I think it's pretty good already. Should I bury here? Somebody help me with this. How many cards should I bury? Bury 1 to 5. And then I'll pick up, if you say 5, I bury 5. So I pick up the 6th, right? Or you can say 1. Wait, what's the deck? This is the Tsar deck. You never lived near a graveyard? You know what? For the longest time, I hated the idea of graveyards. And then oddly enough, it didn't occur to me that like New Orleans is literally a giant, there's cemeteries everywhere. And then I was like, oh, cemeteries are pretty cool. And then for whatever reason, not thinking, I didn't see the cemetery, and I rented this place. And then I look out my window, and it's it's my backyard is a giant graveyard. And so I go and hang out in there, and it's the most comfortable, relaxing thing ever. It's just so cozy. One card collective. Okay, I'm gonna bury 1, and here's the collective card for the day. Oh, look at you, killing the dragon. Which one is this here? Number 11. Strength. La Forza. The 11th card of the major arcana is the St. George and the Dragon. Intelligence dominates brutality. Victory of common sense and self-control. You have tamed, and you have tamed the dragon. You have, it's like Khaleesi when she gets her dragons and then tames the dragons. That's it. Calmly slaying the dragon. Yeah, basically. St. George. Yeah, I never knew that was connected to it. This deck. Also, you know what I listened to yesterday? This is fucking awesome. Your boy Macklemore, Thrift Shop. I haven't listened in so long, and I don't know, me and a couple people right down the street. I was like, should we listen to Macklemore right now? I'm like, yes. This is fucking awesome. So this deck is so awesome because it was, funny enough, I'm not going to read the whole thing, the introduction of the deck, but I'll give you an idea. It is that this deck was actually made for the church. You know how people that are involved in the church, this is Byzantine Russia, Orthodox. Yeah, this is Byzantine Russia Orthodox churches. Interestingly enough, usually churches are against magic and divination and tarot and anything to do with the occult or witchery or whatever. And this was actually made for the church, which would be completely in the face of what most people think of as church. Oddly enough, the practice of churches, what they do is they do the same thing that that witches do anyways. They just sit in front of a large audience and then speak something. So they have an altar in front of them. So as a preacher, you stand there at an altar and you have your goblet, your wine, your water. You've got your earth, fire, air, earth, fire, and water. It's the same thing on a table that you would have as a priest. So the priestcraft of magic is a priest, right? So they have an altar. So as a pagan, you do ritualistic magic through an altar, but you do it for self. That's paganism, self magic. You're working with the elements. That's what the churches are doing, because they're priests too, but they've taken away the ability for the people in the mass to do the magic. They do it for them. They apply it to them. Now, in the past, they were doing it because they were good at it. You know, that like in the past, if I'm sitting here, if you come to a magician, like now it's a joke, but if you came to an actual, somebody that reads tarot or something, they're doing it because you don't know how to read the cards, and they'll read it for you. And then it got to the point where they go, oh, these people don't know how to read? They don't know how to read? I am the only one here that knows how to read, and I will not teach you how to read. So the church enslaved people by not giving them the power of the pagans, despite the fact that they were pagans themselves. And what else would have Jesus been? He was walking around barefooted and shit. He was part of the earth. He was the sun god. Like, what? He was working with the elements. There's rains and floods and like all of it it's all like a magical. It's an enchantment that he was spell casting himself. He stood in front of people and spell casted. He was all about that. He was all about that life, yo. And he also liked wine. He hung out with the prostitutes and the downtrodden, and he hung out with the most fucked up people. Why? Because the people that aren't fucked up don't need help. You think I'm gonna be hanging out with like people that are good, normal, healthy, like whatever? Yeah, sometimes, but normally not. Why? Because those motherfuckers don't need my help. Who needs my help? The fucked up ones do. CB, what's the difference between Jesus and Christ? Christ is a title. Christ is a title. Like Tsar is a title, like Sir, Mr., Ma'am, it's a title. And it also means crossing. So to be christened is to cross something. It's crossing of something. That's what the cross is. And the literal meaning of crossing would be like from the spinal to the Golgotha to your skull. That's the crossing in an anatomic way. Jesus, the Ayosha or Yeshua or whatever, it pretty much means imagination. I mean, if you really translate, it's so hard to look at which language, which translation is, how do you spell it, I-E-S-U-S, or you spell it with a J, but the J didn't exist, or we're going to spell it with a Yahshua, we spell it with the Y. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It really breaks down to the use of your imagination to create something. What isn't God? Your imagination is. It's a magi. It's an image. I magi nation. So you create through magic your nation. So imagination is, because what's Jesus? What is that? It's an imagination to create anything you want, because Jesus will always provide. He will give you everything you need, right? So it's imagination and a crossing, or a title of imagination. That's what I've been instructed on. What's up, Skull? Yeah. Could you imagine whose joke was that about Jesus? Could you imagine if Jesus came back and he really was posted up on a cross? Right. Some guy, like, that was his life. His 2 feet pounded, nailed through his feet, his hands up here. And then he comes back because everybody said Jesus come back, right? So he comes back 2,000 years later. And could you imagine if that was you? And then the worst memory you have of getting pounded to a cross and everybody's wearing that shit on their necks? Like, yeah, why? That's idol worship. And also that's not a good image, is it? Is that I think I take better pictures than that. Skull. Yeah, you've been mushroom hunting? I came up on some mushrooms the other day, so good times. Yeah, I misunderstood completely, huh? You know this Jesus dude? You know? You met him? I love the way he says it. Yeah. Jesus is your own wonderful imagination. Your very own wonderful imagination. Skull, yeah, Bill Hicks. Yeah, I've been quoting some of his shit lately. What's the other one about the Bible? The first he says we got the reader. They're in the restaurant. They're in like an IHOP or whatever in the middle of the South. We got a reader over here. What you doing that reading for? So I don't end up like you. What was the other one? When he did something wrong and he goes, well, you're Christian, right? So forgive me. Isn't that what the Bible says? People quoting the Bible at him. Well, I didn't know. Forgive me then. Oh man, I kind of got to piss, but I think I'll wait a second or two. Oh shit, is that 3:33? No, it's 3:23. And now I used to have a spider on here, and I got a fly hanging out with me. What's up, fly guy? What are you doing? Do you want to smoke this shit? Here, you want to take a puff of that? He ain't even moving. Weird little guy. CB, you're old enough to have watched Bill Hicks when he was around? Yeah, I know. I mean, well, you can still see him. He's still living. He's still. You realize he's still talking shit every day. Don't you know who Bill Hicks is? He just changed characters. Now, out of all the people, you know, that when they say all these actors and Hollywood types, they tend to just change characters. Sometimes they just go on and play a new role. The Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. I would give that. There's probably I would give it an 80% chance that that's true. Maybe more. The one that I'm certain of that nobody talks about is Jimi Hendrix is Morgan Freeman. Jimi Hendrix is Morgan Freeman. I would go with about a 95% on that one. The JFK was Jimmy Carter. That one's pretty. That's an interesting one. I'm in the 85 to 90% category on that one. Everybody's like, oh, JFK was killed because he was trying to expose. No, that was part of the game. It was to say that if you combat the bankers, this is what will happen. They weren't really doing it. That's why when people say there's like ritualistic murders, no, they're not. They're part of the same brotherhood. They're not killing anyone. So you gotta understand this part. They're showing the public that that's what would happen if you joined the brotherhood and you didn't, and you spoke out against it. They're just giving you an axe. They're not really doing it. I suppose sometimes people are off for certain reasons. I get it, but the majority of what you see on TV and especially Hollywood shit, ain't happening. All these rappers that go, no. When they say sacrifice, they're sacrificing the character. The character. Not the actual person, the being, the guy that's doing that. The Tupac Biggie nonsense. Come on now. You're a multi-billion-dollar rapper. You ain't about that life anymore. Even if they were ever, which I don't think so. But if they were, so what? I'm just saying, like, once it's like, really? Gang, gun on gun violence, who the fuck cares? You're both millionaires, fucking anything you want, eating whatever you want. Like, you ain't that concerned. It's an act. Hey, what's up? Fuck your mask. Oh yeah, what you got there, huh? The Bill and Alex. Hey, look those up. Look up the images of them. It's pretty. I mean, you can say now they look different. It's years have passed, but look at the time stamps on when one went out and one came in, and it's kind of interesting. Otis Redding is Bill Cosby. I've seen that one. I never got into that too much. I don't know that theory that well. Yeah. Biggie and Tupac will stop the conscious rap. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Yeah. And so what do we have now? You can't get in the industry. You can't get in the front door and have conscious rap to hit the radio. You could get away with having a couple on your B-sides, but to really be pop, like to make it in the business, you can't talk anything real. You could only do it, underground. Meaning, if it just becomes so popular, like, okay, the marketing, once you market and become popular on your own accord, then they kind of got to go. They take notice and they go, okay, fine, we'll let them in the studio. We'll and it's just like a little side note to rap, to hip hop. It's like whenever people talk about the greatest rappers of all time, the greatest hip hop artists, it's just like they're not going to be signed by a major label. Anybody that is out here, name the top 10 rappers. If it's anybody that's ever had multiple hits on the radio, I guarantee they're not even close to good. They're okay. We say, you name your top 10, I'll name you 10 that for some reason you don't know, and anybody that's a hip-hop artist knows who these are, and you would just go, holy shit. But you didn't find their music, because it's like people that are talking about, like, man, I can't believe you never heard of this band, they're like fucking so rad. Yeah, it's a little different in as far as jam bands and like, because there's so many musicians, but as far as hip-hop lyricists go, like good ones, they're not. The best ones that are consciously saying a message, there's only a few that get in the door. Although on the real deal with the Biggie shit, Biggie is not even anywhere near. No, I probably, to be really true, if I could tell you, not even top 100, I could put 100 lyricists in front of Biggie. Everybody be like, oh, I'm insulted. Like, well, then you don't fucking listen to hip-hop music, do you dumbass? Biggie wasn't that good. He's not even... I get it. He's a big dude. The beats went hard, and his tone was good, and he had a couple good... But as far as lyricism, Yeah, Morgan and... Morgan Freeman and Jimmy saying his day. Yeah, the cosmetic surgery, they could do minimal things to get that done. Monsters. Yeah, the moon stars. Monsters is moon stars. Trap stars. Rock stars, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as like, yeah, who doesn't like Biggie? You grew up on it. If you here, try to do this. Cancel everything in your brain that you know about any music, and think of all the music you've listened to, and just see, if you listen to it again for the first time today, would you like it? Would I like Biggie? Yeah. Would I like Tupac? For sure. But when it comes to putting it in, how good of, like, what about this? You put the same beat, something decent, just an okay beat, and put any one of your favorite lyricists over that. Who's going to be the best? And it's not going to be Biggie or Tupac. It's like the idea. Remember TV on the radio, or no? TV killed the. Well, that's a good band though. TV on the radio. TV killed the radio star. Is that what it's called? TV. It's the idea that, like, once you see someone's image, the radio stars, the great singers, not necessarily good-looking people, not marketable, but you heard the voice, and that's what you got. You got radio. So you listen to it. You go, wow. I don't need to see it. I'm hearing it. And then once television came around, then they're marketing that. They're selling an image. And Biggie and Tupac were an image. That's what they're selling. You know? Biggie's a big motherfucker, and he's like, he was the everything that was gutter, right? and Tupac was that conscious, like, good looking, kind of, you know, thugged out, but still. Oh, the Challenger Crew shit? Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. Show that to anyone that believes we went to the moon, and just try to explain how that links in. Like, if these people are still alive, which they are, how do you explain that? Like, so NASA went there? They went there? But then this thing blew up, and it killed all these people. Oh. But yeah, there they are. Just what's going on here? What's going on here? Yeah, Skull. You ever get an annoying song stuck in your head? Yeah. Here's what I've learned about how to get music that's stuck in your head out. Go listen to the song. So you ever like get stuck on a lyric that kind of just twists in your head, and you go listen to the whole song, and then you let that out. You let the spell out of the complete song. Even if it's a piece of shit song, don't get stuck in that one verse. It's called the hook. It'll hook you in. The first he says, do not like it when you drink your pee. What's up, Adoration? What are you doing? Yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean the whole shape of the realm / NASA's full of shit / if you don't get that pharmaceutical companies are poisoned by now. I try not to talk about it anymore. The whole, if you're still a vegan and think it's healthy, I try not to touch on those things too much anymore because I've done so many videos. I just feel like I'm just wasting my breath with it. with like the whole, if you don't get it right now that NASA's full of shit 100% of the time, you're not going to understand anything. If you really think pharmaceutical companies are there to help you, you're lost. If you really think the education system was educating you for a good purpose, you're confused. So so it's like wasting my breath over going. And if you really think veganism is the way to go, and you think green cars are actually green, go do any research into what it takes to make the batteries for Teslas, and tell me how green that is. It's actually way more disgusting for the environments and planet. Sorry to break it to you. You think you're doing healthy shit by getting a green electric car. Sorry, you're not. Not doing it. It's not happening. Why isn't the entire Tesla made out of like its outer skin, its shell? Why isn't it made out of like solar panels, you know? Because wouldn't that be directly, you wouldn't have to go plug into the wall that then gets the electricity from a plant that isn't, how did they make the electricity? Oh, why not just make the whole thing out of that? Because then it would be free, and then you wouldn't have to be paying. Oh, not saying that the solar panels are exceptionally great or healthy to make, but it would be a step up, right? Oh, what's up, Fire Drake? What you doing? How was full moon? Oh, it was delightful. Lots of fun. Oh, you know what happened? After doing some psilocybin, me and my friend went to a store. Well, we went to the store earlier in the day, and I was like, dude, you need to get some sunglasses. Like, they're $1.99. And so she picked up a pair that were the only pair that had purple lenses. And then we went out during the full moon with purple lenses on. Oh my god, that's awesome. Looking at the moon with purple sunglasses on, up there in cool shit. Oh, you finally catch my live. Well, welcome. Who are you? You're Maja from Insta. My new Insta? Do I know you? Do I ever talk to you? Well, cool. Glad you could come through and see all of this glory. Anybody hasn't seen it? We got a roller coaster right there. Maybe we'll go ride it in a little while. I gotta find some people that got kids that want to go to the Storyland, because I want to go in there. But it'd be weird just to like buy a ticket to go in and fucking walk around. Never been in there. Although the botanical gardens are pretty rad. Yeah, how do they do that with a straight face? I don't know. Like if you go to the theater and you know you're at the theater and you see some actors and they're great actors, you know they're acting. But for the moment you get pulled into the scene, everything, and that's great, and they're very talented, and that's awesome. But when you're literally being taxed and then you think that they're presenting you something that's real, it's a fact, that's some kind of way going to help humanity, that's a load of horseshit. You know, there's a big difference. Because you buy the ticket, you go, I know I'm going to walk into this theater and I'm going to see a bunch of crazy shit going on, and I know that I might get emotionally involved, and that's great. Maybe cry at a movie, maybe, it's great. And then when you're done, movie's over, you know the person on the movie was just acting. But with the rest of the shit, you're kind of like, nah, but you're doing it and no one knows you're an actor. You're doing it to like succubus off of people. You're leeches. You're lying to leech off of people. That's not good. That should be that. Not only is it not frowned upon, it's actually applauded and encouraged by the people that don't know they're being lied to by these people. They're high-fiving, congratulating, and sucking off NASA. as if they've really. What did they give us? A fake moon rock and they gave you a mattress and some dried ice cream, right? That's about what, right? Well, what have they done? What have they done? What do they do for humanity? Well, the farther we go to the moon and the other planets, we'll figure out something about this planet. Well, what if they inverted their entire system and said, hey, we actually live here. Maybe if we took all their money that's being invested to fly fucking dicks into outer space that they're trying to, and instead of doing that, they just, hey, right beneath your feet, there's a whole fucking earth here. Maybe we can figure out how to plant pretty flowers. Maybe we can figure out how to grow things better. Maybe we can figure out, instead of building houses that are really not functional, they're not really healthy for society, they're not healthy for individuals, maybe we could design things better for who's here. Nah, we're just gonna get on a ship and go to fucking to a piece of cheese that you can't even land on because it's not even a physical object. Could you imagine looking up at the sky at night and really believing that that's a physical object when you can see through it? You know, like you can see the sky behind it. That it's like, huh? That's you think that's a physical object? Who told you that? It's absurd. Oh, Fire Jake, you on the way to the moon right now? Well, yeah, all the world is a stage. Yeah, I get that. If they would have just let us know at the beginning, you know, right in the beginning, like, hey, look, it's all just a stage, and just play it out, have some fun. Instead, they said, no, this is serious. This is serious business we're doing here. Look at it, I have this. I love seeing the scientist guys with theoretical physicists. You know what theoretical means, right? It means just a theory. Doesn't mean it actually has any application. And there's a big chalkboard behind them with this huge mathematical A plus B and these parentheses and shit. Who can read that? Who? Anybody? The person that wrote it. The person that wrote it can't even read it. They didn't even know what the fuck it says. You couldn't explain that. Like giant fucking 10-foot tall, side to side. If A plus B, put in parentheses, and X, and then here's the. Do you know what a joke that is? That's literally the. That is the joke that it's called the Aristocats. That's the joke on the joke. Everybody mispronounces aristocrats as aristocats. So the aristocrat's joke is tell the most bizarre, obscene, absurd, filthy, disgusting story. Right? Do that, and then end it with, well, that's the aristocrats. And that's what these theoretical physicists do. They tell this most bizarre, obscene story, and then at the end of it, they're like, well, I don't even know what any of that meant. It's just we're just NASA. we're just some theoretical physicists. So I can't really see the screen because I got a little glare. Yeah, glare. Oh, okay. You know, I mean, really, that all of those letters and numbers equates to what? To fucking nothing. To nothing. To a big pile of fucking mouse manure. How about a pile of camel dung? How about rhinoceros shit? How about a albino pigeon feces? Like I don't know, you know, like what's wrong with them? Were they just made fun of his children all the time and you just beat it? Is that what that is? So they're I'll get the last laugh. I'll just write these codes and this shit that means nothing and teach them. Like fuck it. Not everybody's against you guys. It's just stop being fucking shit. Stop being shitbags. How about that? How about just stop lying? Yeah, wipe the slate clean with everyone. Just stop being a piece of shit. Stop lying to the fucking humanity. Stop poisoning us with your lies and ignorance, and just you want to be a dork? Be a dork on your own. You want to be a weenie? Could be a weenie. They like big beefy balls. I might have to adjust my seating position because this glare is way too much for the screen. I can't even see what you guys are writing. So let me adjust my table here. And if anybody wants, I have the tarot deck out. I can reconvene with these in a second or two. This would be a moment of just a quick little break here. A moment of commerce. Here's the commerce break. Everybody here who knows, this is what I do to earn $1 or $2. So if you'd like to, you can always donate to me, which is very, very helpful to helping me do these shows, because without the dollars, I can't afford to pay for my phone, nor can I afford these beers that make me so highly enjoyable. And also, it's pretty much all I eat. I'm pretty liquiditarian unless somebody really wants me to eat. Somebody's like, hey, let's just eat. I'm like, I'll eat with you. So I don't, food is minimal, liquid is important, and this phone is important because I get to talk to you guys and educate you on the ways of the world. Let's go to this other table real quick. Okay. Oh, much better. Oh, hi, little lizard. What are you doing? Okay. Okay, cool. Well, hello there. Hi, guys. Hey, adoration. Baby boy to raise in this world. Man, that's tough. Here, look. The way it is right now. Okay, if you were to ask this question 3 years ago, the answer would be obvious. There's a very good way to raise children in this world. I would give a different answer 3 years ago. Now, because it's hard to consider what will be next in the clown circus. It appears as though everything is being geared towards self-substantiation and knowing the way the world works, really, because everything else is such douchery. Like how to just go whatever to people and go, oh, there's the earth. I put my feet on it. I know how to plant something in it. I could build something. The liberal arts. I know how to make music. I know how to read. I can bind a book. I can build a ship. I can, the simple tasks. How to cook a meal. How to do the things that are actually essential to living. Go through, as we were talking about earlier, go through Maslow's, hierarchy of what's needed. Teach what is needed first. How to obtain such things. How to clean water. Why distilled water is best. What to eat, how to forage. Not that we should have to forage, but how to plant a garden, how to build anything. Start building something. I don't know. How to relax. That'd be number one. How to not stress out, because that's number one killer. Stress. How to enjoy what you're doing. Which is literally the answer. How to do that is to. It's like you tell someone how to meditate. It's not an action. It's the lack of. It's the opposite. You can't do something when you're saying how do you just be. What do you mean? Like how? It's like too focused. Just I don't know, like this. Oh, and there's that sound, and there's the sound over there. There's the smell, and here's the meditation. I can see this, I can hear this, I can taste this. Internally, this is what the inside of my body feels like. That would be number one. I don't know. What's the best medicine? Laughter and urine. Take the piss for real. That's so funny, Fire Drake. You told me about that book. I think maybe one of the first times we ever chatted on here, right? The Ringing Cedars. You brought that up a couple of times. I have not read it yet. I looked into a little bit. That's interesting. Yeah, the Ringing Cedars of Russia. Ha ha ha. Skull, the original recipe. You know what? That's funny you say that because Fire Drake sent me some coca, a coca tea bag, right? I found it. Remember he sent me that gift snack, that gift satchel, the box of goodies, and there was a coca tea bag in there. Yeah, I've made Coca-Cola. Well, not Coca-Cola, but I made syrup for soft drinks, you know, and came out really good. And and when I looked up the recipe, there was some I was like, interesting. I didn't know that would be in there. Dr. Pee-Pee, or excuse me, Dr. Pepper. That was another good one. Like nutmeg and betel nut, and a few other odd things that I was like, oh shit. Like allspice you can use in it. All medicinal. And if you use the actual coca leaf, it's super medicinal. Why do you think they turned it illegal? Because they started turning it into something that they had to say, fuck that plant, it's illegal. The plant is illegal. How the fuck are you talking about? How are you going to tell me that? You're going to tell me this tree is illegal? That's stupid. That grass that's growing right there is illegal? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. You're reckless. You're a moron. How? Oh, you mean it's illegal that people turn it into a white pill form that then gets people addicted? It doesn't have any healing properties. That's legal to do. So as long as they sell it through certain corporate structures and enterprises, legal drug sellers are all poison sellers, pharmakia. So that's legal, but it's illegal to participate in nature that's healing. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you know what? Fuck your basket. Yeah, you're right. I thought about that because you know people that are what do they call them? Pathological liars. You know, there's a difference in type of liars. Just like there's a difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. There's a difference between a pathological liar and a compulsive liar. You understand the difference? If not, look them up. I wouldn't do it justice in explaining it, but it does kind of break down to this: is that they're to the point with pathological liars and sociopaths and psychological liars are pretty much in the same boat. They don't even know they're doing it anymore. It's just part of their nature because they've and usually and to get into the deeper seated, hey, it's not their fault thing, and there's some psychological traumas, triggers from youth that made them always have to lie. It was overbearing, dominating parents that they would get abused by if they did the wrong thing. So they would always, even if they were doing something that was just in their nature as a child to do, they would lie about to avoid punishment. So to avoid punishments, all they would do is lie, and then it became part of their character trait that they see that as a way to continue living. It's a way of life to lie. And I just have to go, fuck, that's it for these people. That's what I get why. So they associate everything with early life childhood traumas and lying to survive. Now what I'm saying is these people can just stop fucking lying and just get the fuck out of the way. Like, get the fuck out of the way of us planting. Just stop writing your books of bullshit. Stop lying. Just go ahead. You want to eat food? Come hang out. Have some food. Just shut the fuck up. Stop bullshitting. Yeah, you know, I drove NASCAR when I was 12 years old. I was like, no, you weren't. Shut the fuck up. Eat the food. Drink some water. Drink your piss. Shut the fuck up. Well, CB, the reason I bring up the Maslow thing is because I'm correcting like what it actually means, and I've been having a couple people were asking me about the basic necessities of life and what would you say you would need? So if people, what would you need in life? Oxygen, breath, liquid, water, domicile, clothing, food. And then after that, everything is creation after that. Those are the basic necessities you're good. And most people don't see it that way because they throw a wrench in the equation by adding things that don't need to be in there. Like right now, what I would say is education is up there in the hierarchy of needs. He doesn't include that. Education is very important. And what does it take to have an education? I would say right now, this thing gives me an education. It's not the telephone, it's the access to an infinite university on the interwebbings, the interweavings, everything. You can access any piece of information you wanted. So that perfect collegiate, universal educational thing right there. He wasn't around during high technology, but I think most people would say that a phone or a computer would be a big part of. A lot of people say, oh, it's the TV and computers and phones is evil. It's no, it's literally giving people an opportunity to be educated on anything they want. Think of it this way. How many things have I discussed with you that you know because of me, right? Now, I only know it because I was able to access information on here and put it against things that I know in the real world and access pieces of information that I never would have known. And I said, does that actually fit? Is that actually real? I would have never known anything about herbology. I would have known nothing about urine therapy. I would have never thought to drink my piss, ever. I would have never tried to be vegetarian for 10 years. I would have never been, like, for real? That's a thing? People do that shit? I would never even thought it. So, we have access to such a... There's information overload for some people, but then some people take all that information and they can collapse it down to bite-sized little nuggets of consciousness. So I would say Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I would say phone, computer, access to the larger interweb. Ha 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 ha. Hey, Adoration, you started urine therapy 2 weeks ago? Did you read any books? Or is it like some catalyst from like shit that I've said? Or, whoop, whoop. I think everyone in here right now, let me see who's in here right now. I think most people in here probably do. Yeah, I mean, urine, whatever. Call it what you like. Some people they don't like to say urine because it's like piss therapy, like. If you say Orin, it kind of gives it a little bit of a ring of like Orion's belt, or like it's something different. It's like if I just say practice, say Shivambu Kalpa, and they go, oh, what is this Shivambu Kalpa you speak of? It's a language they don't know, so it's kind of like it's unique, it's something exotic. Huh? What do you do? If I was like, they're like, hey, well, how are you so healthy? I drink my fucking piss. Huh. Oh, I practice Shivambu Kalpa. Oh, what is this that you speak of? What is this? And you turn it into a long, little, drawn out, well, it's plasma that is clarified. It's basically what you do is you you would take your blood and you'd clarify it and pull out all the toxins and get to the really the soft, very clean version that also has antibodies and stem cells, oddly enough, in it. And then I re-ingest that into my system. How do you do that? Do you have to go to... No, I just piss in a glass and drink it. Oh, you're joking, huh? No. How long do I have to talk through this one? What's up, Denise Franzen? Yeah, the more piss you take, the more shit you could talk. Professional at it. There you go. If you say Oren, yeah, exactly. Lauren, yeah. You told your mom, and that's why your skin is glowing. Oh, once everybody knows. See, I haven't even in the past. I don't know the last time I did a full-on like urine bath. I don't know. I have mad aged urine that I gotta use, but I don't even know the last time I used any on my skin. But as soon as you do, your skin becomes immediately soft, and then you start radiating and glowing. And as soon as you start drinking it, your auric field grows. It's very obvious. It's like if I go out in public normal, people they interact with me because yeah, I'm me. Yeah, of course they want to. But if I drink piss, it's too much sometimes. People would just be like, well, they'll look at me different. That's very obvious. Everybody has done it, notices it. It's an attractor. It's like an energetic attractor. Uh-huh. Never a better, hey Denise, never a better facial? Actually, if you really want to know, this is real deal. There's this Ethiopian chick that I used to date, and when I was like 22, I think she was like 36. When I met her, I didn't think she was even out of her 20s. Her skin was perfect. Come to find out, she was like, when she would be performing oral sex on me, she would ask me to come in her face, and I was like, "Is that some dirty shit?" She's like, "No, I like it. I put it on my skin." Like, that's how you keep your skin young? She's like, "Yes." So I was like, sweet. I was like, win-win here. Hi, thanks for doing what you're doing, and here you can have this. Good, perfect trade. They might have made a mistake by giving it to us. Well, look, that would imply that there's only evil people if you believe in good and evil. There's only the black evil hats at the top, and there aren't the people on the the opposing, even though it's not opposing because they're playing the same game. They're on the other side. There's people that in one way the internet was a bad idea for maybe the good white hat side said give them the internet and here's why, and the black side had to concede to that for something else. Oh fine, we'll start a war. We'll start the fake World War III. Okay, give them the internet though first. And they said, but we will be able to censor that and this and that. Well, what's your boy say in Jurassic Park? Well, life will find a way. How's he say it? I don't even know how he says it. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Oh, you did, and I think I responded to you. See, I don't know. I talked to a few people. so I don't. It's hard to make the association between Instagram and here. Oh, okay. So there it is. You love my sophisticated Oren therapy description. Ah, you spoke too soon. Yes. Well, my favorite thing is, well, I think most people would be very scared to tell other people that they drink piss. I don't give a shit, and so whenever I tell someone, they're like, "You're serious, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they immediately go, "Of course." And then I'm like, then I just give them like the kind of like the play the game. Like, how old do you think I am? What do you think is going on here? Like, why do you dress like this? Why do you like this? It's like, cause I'm stupid and I drink my piss. And they're like, ah, damn it. I gotta catch them in their own trap because they know I'm not stupid. So I'm like, well, if I'm not stupid, why would I be doing that then? Who is the smartest person in the room? It's almost always gonna be me. Why wouldn't it be? So you think I'm doing something dumb by drinking a beer, smoking a cigar, and drinking piss? I don't think so. Where are we at astrologically? I don't know. I'm not the while while I can explain, a lot of my videos are explaining astrology and how to look at the charts and how it all works, the months in the womb and the cellular salts in your body and how those line up. I can explain all that, but I'm not the astrology guy. I'd ask somebody else. I don't know where we are. Oh. Wait, hold on. Adoration, you said the semen didn't work for your skin. Hopefully that's not too much information. Did you hear me talk? What the urine? Why do, hey, peace out, fuck your mask. Why do people let it age? Well, when you let it age, it becomes more, it's kind of like, why do you let beer age? Why do you let wine age? It's fermenting. And it's changing, it's alchemically changing it. It's chemically changing it, okay? Okay. It's becoming more ammonia rich, and it's developing some of the things. I don't know what exactly, because I've never put it under a microscope. I'm not going to talk that language. But certainly, if you drink a beer that you just started, letting go through the fermentation process and turning it into, into beer, you let it age. The longer you let it age, usually the better it becomes. Just like wine, you let it age a little bit. It's developing some secondary chemical things that are happening as the chemicals inside, as it sits there and develops. It creates a new culture, a new species, a new strain of chemicals in there. So the most basic thing that happens when your urine ages, watch the color. It will go from yellow, from the hay color, to, I have some that is black because I've had it for 10 years. And I have some that is, as it ages, it goes through these colors, and the aroma and the ammonia content goes up, so the pH changes. So when you consume it, you're consuming really high pH. So people that always want to be on that alkaline diet. Okay, you want to be on an alkaline diet? Drink some piss. Drink some aged piss. See what happens. Don't drink a lot. First time you do it, it's a heavy duty. And I would mix it with something. But yeah, you're changing the chemistry of it. It's like apple cider vinegar. It's like anything that sauerkraut, kombucha. As you let things develop and mature and age, it changes the chemical makeup. Oh, nice. Snort it off a Q-tip. Interesting. I never do the Q-tip thing. The neti pot. I have pretty good sinus, ear, nose, throat shit. I'm pretty clean in here, so I don't have to use that too often. Not with a fucking schnauzelberry like this. I don't really. It's kind of. I'm good. But yeah, so it's people that have like really kind of closed up or what's it called, a deviated septum or something, or have like a lot of ear aches or nose, do that. That'll clean you right out. You drink a shot of just urine, not aged though, right? Or aged. If you're doing a shot of aged, that's a lot. I remember when Jimin. I don't know if he's on here. He was on here earlier, I think. Jimin. One night I was doing a show and I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna do something that I suggest no one tries. And so I took tequila, dimethyl sulfur oxide, turpentine, aged urine, and oregano oil, and did a shot of it. Yep. So you wanna clean yourself up? Try that. But I couldn't do the whole shot. But he took, I don't know how much. He took a shit ton, and he's like, I pretty much shit and vomited everywhere. But when I was done, everything was like, it was like a whole like, there's in errrybody, there's a certain practice that you clean out your stomach by you take something that will cause you to heave and to throw up. It's kind of like when you do ayahuasca or certain chemicals, you'll want to throw up. It's purging. So you purge out the ass and out the mouth, right? So urine can do that too. Aged urine especially. I never have because I won't do that much. And also puking is not once in a while I get pukey, but not usually. I mean it's like, people that can like, oh, I ate something bad and they go, eh. No, I just stomach it down. A shot of fresh in the morning. Yeah, usually in the morning, I will depending on what I did the night before. Depending on if I ate the night before, in the morning I'll mouth rinse. But if I just was drinking all day or doing something healthy, then I'll drink a whole drink. I'll start drinking my piss in the morning. But if I eat something, especially fried, in the morning it's no good. So check it out. Speaking of pissing, I do have to piss, and this has been 3 hours of Zen in high definition. I do this for free in the hopes of a little donation. I don't just stand on the side of the highway with a sign saying, please give me $1 for a beer. However, if I invest 3 hours in getting what I was worth, I should be able to pay my rent for the month, honestly. But if you guys want to, even if it's a nickel or two, or find something in your cushions, I do appreciate it. CashApp, PayPal, Venmo. CashApp and PayPal work better right now. I gotta fix my Venmo. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. I couldn't access it. I'm kind of low on funds, so if you want to, TsarXen, capital XEN, both for PayPal and CashApp beneath. I appreciate that. Also, if you want to get a hold of me and you have any pressing questions that you don't want to talk about on here, like you have a bloody asshole and you have hemorrhoids, and that'd be something weird to say in front of everyone, you don't feel like me answering that because they'd be like, that's the one with the bloody butthole. You can ask me Theoluminous, TheoLuminous. Theoluminous means God light. You can also hit me up on Instagram, zen.atman, and you can look me up on Telegram, which I highly suggest to go to Telegram. Download that bitch and find me on there. My last show, the title of it was How to Find Me There. It's my name. Try that out. And as per usual, thanks for showing up. And there's 2 things that I do request of you. One is to take care of yourself, because there you are. You're the only one. There you are. Don't be like anybody else, because they're already taken. Be yourself. And secondarily, take care of others when you can. I think those are the only 2 things I need to say. And also, thanks for showing up. This was me, Zen. That's you guys. And I might do a show later today. And maybe I'll do a show with 2 of my friends that are singers. One, Leanne, she might, see if we can figure out how to do it. She wants to sing with the other chick, Sarah, that was singing the other day. Maybe we'll do a show. Maybe we'll do a music show. Who knows? But either way, I might see you guys this weekend, and I appreciate any and all donations, and appreciate you guys showing up. Hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to put that up my Theoluminous or my IG or whatever. Good to see everybody. I'm Ass out of here. Fucking gang. What's up, Shobes? Oh, why you gotta come right at the end of the show? You've been here the whole time, huh? Peace out. Talk to you soon.